Thought it was interesting, Ron. I'm just saying, brother.
Yeah, you're muted. You're muted.
Can't hear you, Ron. Can't hear you, brother.
We had 4 crazy NBA games last night.
Mm-hmm.
We had a game winner, and somebody got to go home. That's why I'm here in Cancun to greet all the teams that are going home. Then we had another team that just got blew out in the second half. Then we had another team who just keeps getting it done. I don't know how. I'm sure Swipe will tell us, but they just keep getting it done. But they had a blowout win last night. And then last but not least, the Detroit Pistons just will not go away. Y'all, we gonna get into all of these games. But before we do that, we got some good guys with us today.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all living? Stoner Sports in the building. What's good?
Can't hear you, brother. You muted again.
JL,
yep.
muted.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you, brother. You muted again.
Hey, that's my. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all having us back, man. We had a great time last time. We can't wait to talk some basketball with y'all, man. We had, like you said, we had some great games last night. Game winner. We had some controversy. Mr. Haliburton getting in Giannis' face, bro. Giannis about to beat him.
Mr. Haliburton.
It was wild. Hey, shout out Mr. Haliburton. Though. He was popping his shit for his son. I respect it, but yeah, things got wild last night, so we can't wait to get into it.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Hold on.
For sure. We
Outside
appreciate
of,
y'all having us back on.
yeah, man. Real quick. Outside of myself, who the best hoop up here right now?
Me.
Ron, you taking that?
I could pull out all my awards like every
listen,
Ron, you taking that?
It's a little different over in this corner. Over here in Cancun, it's a little different in this square.
We got to do a PC 1v1 tournament.
Yeah, you know, we be doing our PC weekends and stuff, you know, and that's where we're all fly out, get a lot of content, you know, do some live shows and stuff like that. So hopefully when we do that, because we're gonna get one in the summer. So hopefully when we do that, y'all is there for real.
Let us know, man. We with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be lit.
But man, let's get into it though, y'all, because we gonna start with the Bucks and the Pacers. Now, as if you didn't watch the game, it was the Bucks pulled away early, and they pretty much were handling the game. The Pacers came storming back. Eventually, they send the game into overtime. Now, in overtime, the Bucks pull away. They had a 7-point lead, 118 to 111, with 40 seconds left. And then that's when chaos broke loose. Y'all want to talk about this?
So we could start the conversation, Ron, with people saying that what happens in the regular season doesn't matter when we get to the playoffs. Yes, it does. Because the things that you're not good at in the regular season, they get amplified in the playoffs. So the Milwaukee Bucks this season, they were one of the worst teams in the league guarding the long ball line. So we get to this Indiana series last night in particular, the second and the third quarter, they're shooting over 50% at the long ball line after they built the 20-point lead. That's how they were able to get back in the game. That's number one. Number two, I don't know about you dudes. I can't speak for everybody up here, but I love nip and tuck games. I love back and forth, Mars. I love action where you can't stop, you can't score, we can't score, or you can score, we can score, or whoever has the ball last, they're going to win the game. I love that stuff. Swiper, I can't handle watching teams go to pieces, man. I can't. I have such a difficult time with that, yo. It's like watching a train wreck where you horrified, but you can't look away from it. And I'm watching this Milwaukee team, all the stuff that they had problems with throughout the course of the regular season, the fact that they don't have a lead guard on the floor and they don't have a primary ball handler, and that's what's screwing them up, getting the ball in bounds. You got a 3-possession game, Ron, 3 possessions with 34 seconds. We got 118 points. That's enough points to win. We don't need no more points. All we got to do is 3 things at this point in the game, because throughout the course of the game, we did let them back in the game because we didn't guard at the long ball line. We could have done a better job at rebounding. 100%, we could have done that. But we got a 3-possession game, Ron, and all we got to do is 3 things. Take care of the basketball. Don't foul. Make free throws. Let's get our asses and get out of here. That's all we got to do. We don't need to do nothing else. Instead, what do? We don't take care of the basketball. We foul. And now we all getting our asses out of here, but we ain't coming back. We're not coming back. And it's interesting that you brought up Tyrese Haliburton's father, because that takes Gary Trent off the hook. Because that's all we was talking about at the end of the game.
Two huge mistakes.
That's all we're talking about. Tyrese Haliburton's father, when we completely forgot what the game ended up being. To your point, Swiper, we didn't talk about that at all. And again, I'm not a physicist. I mean, I got pretty good grades in science. I got a C+ and a B-. I do know one thing. I do know that for a fact. The ball moves faster than people. I know that. So get rid of the basketball. And I don't mean jump past when somebody's already covering you. I feel like this Milwaukee team, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but I feel like this Milwaukee team, the stuff that they weren't good at throughout the course of the season came to bite them in the playoffs.
No, I'm right there with you. I feel like that last game was a culmination of their entire season. Like, it's a train wreck. I mean, Dame going out with the Achilles, and prayers up for Dame, because that's a tough one. That was a tough one for the hoop community. But real talk, I feel like that literally encapsulated their entire season in 30 seconds. Like, just that collapse right there. We've been hearing the Giannis is getting out of Milwaukee rumors for the last year and a half now, and that was one of those games where you watched it and you said, yeah, based on Giannis, and he played well, but you just feel like it's over in Milwaukee. You feel like that their time has come to an end. And bro, I'm right there with you, bro. Y'all
might roast me for this. I don't think Giannis going anywhere. I don't think he's going to ask out. I don't.
He got to.
I don't think he's going to ask out.
Dame's not playing next year. They have no assets. Like, what is there for him to stay? They're not winning the championship, and his career is about to be.
The only way Giannis stays if they bring the whole Antetokounmpo tribe in there. That's the only way they stay. He stays.
What reason? Well, Beyond Mars on Twitter saying maybe he just wants to live there. I'm saying beyond that, but I'm saying what's the incentive for Giannis to stay there? They're 1-9 in the last 10 playoff games still.
Sure.
He hasn't won 2 playoff games in a season or a series since 2022. He's averaging like 34 and 15, I think, in the last 10 playoff games. They've won one of those. They have no draft picks, no control of the first round draft picks for 6 years.
Unbelievable.
Giannis is not going to have his number 2 player probably the entire next season with an Achilles injury. And then on top of that, the time that it's going to take for Dame to be able to get back to 100% is probably going to take at least half the year. So you have a full year out, half the year with a diminished number 2. They have no assets. They're already an apron team. They can't draft anybody. They have no tradable contracts on their roster. Nobody wants Kyle Kuzma. They already got rid of Chris Middleton. Brook Lopez is older. He's a worse defensive player than he was 3 seasons ago or 4 when they won the title. Yep. They don't have any of it. And on top of that, he's had 3 of his 5 best seasons of his career in the last 3 years, and it's amounted to 1 playoff win, Chill.
Sure.
What's the incentive for Giannis to want to stay there?
So 2 things. Number 1, Giannis is incredibly loyal, and Giannis
that shit only goes so far.
It does. It only goes so far, but Giannis is incredibly loyal, and we can't leave out the fact that Giannis is still arguably the best player in the world. And yes, he could still get them. He could still get them to the playoffs.
What does that mean?
Hey, where do you
and with him doing that, we did see. I saw the vision with Milwaukee. I didn't need to see it work with Dame, but I saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to appease Giannis to let him know, listen, this is what we're doing. We are trying to put the pieces necessary around you. Now, no, they don't have draft picks. I'm not going to argue that point. They don't have draft picks, but what they do have is Giannis. And
what does that mean? What does that mean for Giannis, though, Chill? Why is that? So, Chill, think about what
there's no asset.
If you think Giannis is in the best in the world conversation, and I'm doing best in the world type things, and it means 1 playoff victory, and I get gentleman swept this year. I missed the playoff because of injury last year. I'm getting older. I'm over 30 now. And the year
You're not over 30. You just turned 30 this year.
I'm over 30. He's over 30 now, meaning that he is now more likely not going to go this way for the rest of his career.
I'm still in my prime, though. I probably got 3 or 4 more years.
But that's cool. But he's 100% still 3 straight years of his prime.
I don't know. Whoa, stop right there. That's just not true. First, number 1, not true? Okay, he didn't waste anything. So in 2020,
well, I mean, not like, obviously God gave him he didn't waste it.
And let's discuss in 2023. In 2023, they did have the number 1 seed. Let's be clear about that. With Damian Lillard, right? Not Damian. I'm sorry. With Drew Holiday, they had the number 1 seed, and they got worked in round 1. Now, some people are telling me that Giannis was hurt, and that was the reason why they lost to an 8 seed. I'm not really buying that. Last year, he didn't play at all. right? He didn't. Moss,
He got
went
injured.
He went for almost 40 and 20.
That doesn't mean he wasn't hurt.
Even being hurt. And but
Yeah, that doesn't mean he wasn't hurt.
Yeah,
He
but
just played well hurt.
Wait, when did he get 40
so
and
say
20?
that
Talking
then.
about 2 years ago?
Don't tell me that he don't tell me that he hurt. Don't tell me that he was hurt. He played well.
In
Two things
38
can
He
be
was
true.
hurt.
Two things can be true. He was hurt.
Yes.
Two things
You're
can
trying
be
to
true.
deny one of them.
I think
The reason why I'm trying to deny one of them because you're using the other one as the reason why they lost. That's not why they lost.
What do
A big
wait.
reason why they lost is because
What
Giannis
we
was
doing? You're not telling me why Giannis is
But
staying.
he's-
None of this is.
I'm trying to get.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
again, the reason why I think Giannis is staying. One, what happened in 23 with them losing to the 8 seed, that was an anomaly. No, you don't lose because it only happened twice in the history of the league.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
They
three
lose to
times
Miami
in
quite
the history of
often.
the league.
Bro,
Miami has beat
so-
them in
so-
multiple series, Chill, for a reason.
and
And on
No.
top of that, they
Those-
couldn't guard Miami to
They
save a life.
swept
with
Miami
or
the
with-
year after the year after
Yes,
Miami
yeah,
beat
the
them,
year
and they
Jimmy
swept
was
them.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah, Jimmy
Jimmy
was
had a back injury, and in the bubble,
They didn't get
what was the
swept
series?
though.
What was the series? What was the series in the bubble, Chill? What was the series in the bubble? You remember that series?
4-1.
4-1. Giannis averaged 23 points a
Giannis
game.
got hurt too. Then
It was
Giannis
horrible.
broke
Yeah,
his
that was,
ankle.
they won the game. Giannis
Gian-
didn't play.
Yes, and
Yeah,
then,
Giannis
and
got
then the
hurt.
next year, Jimmy Butler's hurt. They beat that team, and then the very
They
next
swept
year,
them.
the very next year, literally the very next season, until 21-22.
21.
That's when the Heat they lost to who did the Bucks lose to that year?
The Bucks lost to Boston in 20.
Bucks lost to Boston that year, and then the very next year, even when Giannis was on the court, they were down 15 when he went down with the injury because they couldn't guard him. They couldn't guard them, and then when Giannis came back, they still couldn't guard him, and they had a 38-20 game in Game 5,
right.
and they got walked.
Right.
They got
So-
walked.
And that's the point that I'm trying to make. That because Giannis, that's why I'm not listening to the logic that Giannis was hurt because he did play well. Even if he was hurt,
I mean,
everybody's
you can still
hurt.
be hurt. Chill.
But everybody is hurt during this time of year. But the point I'm making is that you're using that for the reason why they lost. That's not why they lost. But let's
Well,
get back.
I
to
don't think that's why they lost. They lost because they couldn't guard Miami. Chill.
Let's get back. Let's get back to why I don't think Giannis is asking out. I don't think Giannis is asking out because the stuff that's going on in Milwaukee had a lot. I saw the vision with Damian Lillard. I saw the vision with Kyle Kuzma getting more athletic on the wing. I saw the vision with them trying to do that. Now, you might look at it from the aspect of you need like another 20, 22 a game guy. No, they just wanted to get more athletic on the wing. Chris Middleton was
How
older.
is Kyle Kuzma a positive NBA athlete?
How was he a positive NBA athlete?
He's
one of
not
the better.
relative to other wings. He's not a vertical spacer. He's not like great horizontally. He's not fast. Like he doesn't do any of the defensive stuff that Giannis needs at all. That was bad. It didn't even work. Like that was a horrible
didn't
trade.
work.
You're giving Kyle
It
Kuzma
didn't-
way too much credit. You're giving Kyle Kuzma way too much
Wait,
credit.
you're still on the Kuzma train?
No.
No.
What I said was
Oh.
I saw the vision
Okay, my fault,
with
my
Kyle
fault.
Kuzma. I saw the vision of what they were trying to do.
Even
It-
do the
no,
stuff
it
Giannis
did-
needs.
and it didn't work. No, it didn't work.
Chill.
But-
What does that have to do with moving forward? You
That's
saw
what
a
I'm
failed,
saying.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
you saw a failed vision.
Explaining stuff that failed.
You
Right.
saw a failed vision.
Okay, so
And if you're
now
young,
we do have an asset. That asset is Giannis, and Giannis is under contract, and we can and Giannis, with him being as loyal as Giannis is, we showed that we did try to do something with Dame. We did try to do something with Kuz. It didn't work. If you can be patient with us and let us try this again, and I don't mean
With
I don't
who?
mean the-
Wait,
I don't
Chill, I
mean
just
the-
need-
He's been
with
patient.
who? With who?
That's
With
what I'm
who?
about to say. He's been patient.
Who are they
First-
moving
first-
off of?
First of all, the reason why he signed that extension, was because Milwaukee traded for Dame.
Yes.
That's why he did that. So, okay, they showed that they showed that Giannis, we are trying to build around you, and that didn't work. So now he's still under contract for 2 more years. We showed that we're trying to do something. This didn't work. So now, give us another shot.
One. So
That's
you
why
want?
you-
So wait.
that's why you- that's-
Chill,
that's
you
why
want him
you
to
signed
take
the
another year, wait for Dame to get back, hopefully to take the next 6. So basically, by
Not
trade,
wait for Dame to get back. No,
by
I'm not
trade
waiting for Dame to
deadline
get back.
2027, when we can move off of Damian Lillard, you want us to wait until then, Giannis. We can move 36-year-old Dame
I ain't
on his
saying
way to
wait for Dame get
37,
back. No, I did
It's
not.
a
and
say
then
that.
trade him for another asset while Giannis is 32 years old.
this
I
is a
didn't
lot
say-
of wishful thinking, bro. Because they have no there's nowhere for the Bucks to go and get better. Like you're saying, just we can hope that like something happens. What? They have no assets to trade. They have no way to get better to help Giannis. There's no
you
way.
keep saying Giannis is an asset. I believe Giannis at this point in his career, and I could be tripping, but it's like, yeah, he's putting up crazy, freakish numbers. It's not contributing to winning. So where do you go from there with that as far as Milwaukee is concerned? Because it's like, yeah, we have this megastar, we have one of the best players of all time, but currently the way he's playing is not contributing to winning. He can't single-handedly. He can have 40 and 20. It doesn't mean they win the game. So I don't necessarily
I'm not going to say that
know.
Giannis is the problem.
Yeah,
Giannis
I mean,
and I'm not going to say Giannis is the problem because Giannis is
chill.
the only asset that they
Chill.
have.
I do want to say I think Giannis being the only asset is a problem though, and I'm gonna tell you why. Last night showed a lot of Giannis's, and y'all know I'm a huge Giannis guy. Last night showed a lot of Giannis's flaws and why he needs an elite ball handler. Giannis
Which he had, by the way. Which he had in Damian Lillard.
Which he had, but moving forward, if I'm Giannis, I don't necessarily, and this may sound weird, I actually want to be the second option. I want somebody who literally controls the ball, controls
That's why
the pace,
Dame was there.
and gets.
That's why they got Dame. That's why they got
Dame.
but
I hear you.
I'm not even going to get into Dame, but he's not there anymore. So what I'm saying is, like last night, in the meat potatoes, Giannis is trying to get downhill. He can't do that. When they build that wall, it's nothing Giannis can do. And he's trying to dribble through 4 or 5 people. He needs somebody to be able to get him the ball in the position where he needs to be able to get it. Somebody to break down the defense, throw a lob to him. Somebody to get it to him on the block. Somebody to run pick and roll without him even in a play, and the ball gets swung back around to him. Somebody to push the fast break.
We need Trae Young. We need Trae Young.
So he needs to go to the Pacers.
And somebody that can close.
That'd be what he's not going there, but that'd be amazing.
Giannis needs a closer. We noticed like he late in games, he's not a
So another one. So another closer. Because the one he got just ripped his Achilles. So now he needs another one.
Cooked, bro. Like
how many playoff games did they play together? 1? 2?
None.
2?
Giannis, no, none. Because Giannis didn't
They
play.
play
One.
game 2. They played game 2
One.
and then 6 minutes of game 3.
Yeah, 1.
I
They
don't
played one
remember.
playoff game together in 2
Dame
years.
came back and he played ass. But
Remember,
he didn't
he-
score
Well, they
that
played
second
2 games.
game.
How many games did Dame play in the playoffs this year? 2 or 3?
He played the
Well,
second
he played game 2.
He played. They played 2 games together and then 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's right too.
Yeah, but
It's in 2 years, Chill. In 2 years, and then they'll have to wait. They're gonna have to wait another 2 years to hopefully get one series in. So they played in 2
I'm
years.
off the
they played
Dame
2
Lillard
playoff
thing.
games.
No, Swiper. I'm off the
Chill,
Dame
I'm
Lillard
saying-
thing.
I'm off
Can
Dame.
you- can
Dame
you
is
answer
under
their
contract
question?
on the team. They have to,
Yeah.
like, you have to account for Dame. Like he can't just like
Yeah,
not a ghost.
he's
like,
making $60 million a year on their books.
feel me? Like he's on that team.
So they just
Not
they
playing.
trade him. They trade him.
To who?
Okay, no, Mark, stop trolling.
Who's
Chill.
taking
no.
a Dame?
What
Can't
assets?
trade it into assets.
No, but what assets do they have to build around Giannis in the next calendar year, Chill?
Zero.
Anything.
So
And
when I want to make sure that I'm not losing my mind. So they had Drew Holiday before they got Dame. So they had Drew Holiday. They had an aging. They had Drew Holiday. They have an aging Brook Lopez. In addition to having an aging Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis hadn't been great at that point, right? So let's see who else did they have? They didn't have much.
He was nice.
They had
Right.
in the championship year.
I'm talking about the year this time last summer when they traded for Dame. What exactly did when they
2
moved
summers
off,
ago.
That was 2
Summers
years
ago.
ago.
That's 2 summers ago.
So when they moved off of Drew Holiday, the assets that they had, right? The assets that they had to trade for Dame. Okay, they had Drew Holiday.
They
And
had
I'm
more
not gonna.
They had
and-
picks too.
But see, the thing is, like the Drew Holiday Dame thing, like Drew played defense. That's the difference. Like you had to stop her in Drew, and yeah, Dame might give you 25, 27, but I mean,
Yeah, they
I'd
had
rather have
Dante
defense.
DiVincenzo, Grayson Allen, Javon Carter, Pat Connington,
Chris
like,
Middleton. Don't
Chris
Chris
forget about
Middleton,
Chris.
George Hill, Drew Holiday, like
Lopez,
Brook
Portis.
Lopez, Wesley
That's hoopers.
Matthews.
That's hoopers. That's
They had
hoopers.
Yeah, like they were a good team.
So Lopez is still on the crew. Just so we clear,
He's
Lopez is
worse
still on the
than
crew.
he was at that
He
point.
was- he was
Much
In
to-
2 years.
Much
In
to
2
Ron,
years.
much to
Yes,
Ron
yes,
chagrin.
yes,
He's a
yes,
worse
yes.
player.
Right.
He's not LeBron. He's not these dudes that like.
So what happens if they get past Indiana? Which
They
if
weren't
they
going to
would've-
get past Indiana because I told you going into the series they
They
weren't.
wouldn't
They
have
have
gotten
no way of
past
defending any.
Dame
Chill,
was hurt coming
chill,
in. He had a
chill.
block.
I
didn't
told
think that they
you
were winning
they
the
have
It
no
was fairly
way
obvious
of
they weren't going.
defending. They have no way of defending Indiana, including Giannis. They were never getting past them ever. It was never going to happen. Even if Haliburton didn't play, they would still have issues with them with Nimhard running the offense. They would still not be able to guard them. And then adding Haliburton in there, he was destroying them. They couldn't. They were I'm not going to use Ron's language here. They chill. They were never beating Indiana. And chill. This whole thing started with you saying you don't think he's moving. Can you give me 3 reasons why Giannis is not moving off this team? And regardless, and please don't plan it in the future. 2 years from now when they can trade Dame or whatever else, and don't go back to the Drew Holiday years. Why now? What are 3 reasons today? Now.
Outside, does loyalty count?
Yes,
loyalties are very
loyalty's okay. Well, outside of loyalty,
loyalty runs out. We seen it with Dame in Portland. We see it in many places. That loyalty gonna take.
We see it with everybody. Loyalty runs out.
I feel like you can't help me when Giannis.
You're naming a bunch of guys who weren't champions.
Huh?
Dame wasn't a champion. Dame wanted to win, so he left Portland. Giannis is a champion.
Okay, and
not only number one.
What's next?
Multiple rings. He doesn't
Loyalty
want
is number
one
one.
ring, and that be it. Giannis wants to go down as one of the best to ever do it.
He already is.
Multiple.
He already is one of the best to ever do it.
No.
Okay, Mars, we get it. That's
What?
you're right.
No, he's
Mars,
not.
you're correct. Loyalty's one. What's the next reason, Chill?
But I'm saying he wants to go down top 10, top 5. He's not doing that without multiple.
Did he tell
rings.
you that? He told you he wants to be top 5 all time?
He's obvious. That's what he displays. That's how he carries himself.
I'm still with you.
He's
Mars is going to get you down a rabbit hole. Just ignore him.
Giannis has said many times that.
Hold on. So you're saying that
Giannis has said many times that he loves the Bucks and his focus is
you don't think Giannis wants to win?
You're telling me he wants to be top 5 all time? And he wants
No,
to
but I'm saying Mars is correct. Loyalty, you're right, Mars. That's number 1. What's next, Chill? What's after that?
What's the second one, Chill? Second one.
So the next one I think is the Milwaukee Bucks have shown that they're willing to make moves. I know that you guys are telling me that they don't have the assets to get. They don't have the assets to trade for anything.
What do you feel? What positive asset do you feel like they have? Tradable positive asset we can get something back for, and not just like bad contract. What we can actually trade you and get something valuable that will help Giannis.
Is it fair to say that we've seen teams like, for example, like how did they end up with Damian Lillard?
No, I said don't go back to then. Do it with today with the roster they have currently.
What they have. So Bobby Portis is a great.
Before you do that,
chill, dog. Come on. You bringing up Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis?
I didn't say Brook Lopez. I didn't. I said Bobby.
You brought him up a couple minutes ago, though.
No, all I said about Brook Lopez was you guys are talking about Brook Lopez 2 years ago. I mean, within 2 years, he has been bad. I'm not going to argue that point. No, it's incredible what happens in 2 years. But back to what we were talking about. They still Bobby Portis is on the crew.
30-year-old Bobby Portis.
In his prime.
That is not a valid reason. We're asking for valid reasons, and you bring up Bobby Portis,
prime Bobby Portis,
one of the better rotation players in the game, Bobby Portis. Okay. Yes,
are you being serious right now?
I'm trying to come up with reasons why the Milwaukee Bucks.
There is no reason.
I said Ron, you got to make sure you ask directly. No, why is Giannis
in the bathtub?
I know, but why is Giannis?
You're not about to.
You're saying hold on, Ron. You're saying that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be more willing to stay because they have he sees a positive asset in Bobby Portis, getting him a return for another playable player to help him win a championship.
I didn't just say Bobby Portis. I was just thinking about the other guy.
Okay, keep going.
But clearly they don't. Clearly they don't have.
Chill, just keep going. Okay, Bobby Portis.
So Bobby Portis, Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma. Let's see. The young point guard that they have that they ended up getting. No, I didn't say Gary Trent, but I'm talking about the young. I'm talking about the young point guard that they have.
It's the reason why you don't remember his name. It's the reason you don't know.
No, he's good. What's his name, Mars?
He's good, but he didn't play a minute last night.
The backup point guard.
He didn't play a minute last night.
My boy Gary Trent
in an elimination game.
That's him, Ryan Rollins.
That's what he's talking about.
Ryan
he did not play a second last night.
Now, I don't. Now,
the wrestler Ryan Hollins, the wrestler.
It's quite bleak if these are the names.
Wait, you talking about the wrestler?
Whoa.
Yes, I'm talking about the wrestler. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the wrestler. The dude who throw guys off the ropes. So it doesn't look, to be honest with you, it doesn't. Yeah, maybe I'm tripping.
No, wait. But chill. I'm saying, do you actually believe that, or are you just?
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Giannis being the loyalist that he is. They have to talk him out. They have to talk him into leaving Minnesota, talk him into leaving Milwaukee. Because knowing Giannis, it'll be to his detriment to stay there. He'll stay there just off the strength that they gave him an opportunity. He's been raised there. His whole life has been there. His family is there. He's got business and all of that stuff there.
But he's mentioned multiple times. He's mentioned multiple times that he wants to win, and obviously, there's no chance of them winning. He did mention multiple times that he wants to win, which would explain why when they traded for Dame, he signed the extension, and they showed. Exactly. But now that's a really good contract to trade, though. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm looking at it like I need to fix my franchise. We're gonna have to just take this shit down to the nuts and bolts. Giannis can get me back a shit ton. I can get all my draft picks back, get a couple young pieces back. I'm looking at it from the Bucks organization. Giannis is my best asset. They're not winning a championship in the next 5 years. There's not happening.
Are they getting out of the first round in the next 2 years? Are they getting out of the first round in the next 2 years?
They're not in that East. In this East, no, they're not.
We don't know what's going to happen with them, but as of right now,
man,
it does look like. Knock it off. Let me ask you a question. 3 years ago, did you say that SGA was the league MVP? 3 years ago, did you say that?
What?
3 years ago.
Hey, you don't know, man. Ryan Rollins might turn into Shea.
Three years ago, did you say that? SGA 3 years ago in 21-22. In 21-22 season, 3 years from now, SGA is going to be the league MVP. Oklahoma City is going to be in the championship.
Who on this roster has that kind of potential? Who on this roster has that kind of potential?
And who on Oklahoma City had that? You don't know who Lou Dort is.
He was first team all NBA.
Care about Lou Dort.
No, but he was first team all NBA 3 years ago, though. So he at least SGA at 23 years old was an all NBA player. Who do they have? Sure, that's a blue chip.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. We don't.
No. I do know as of 30 today. He's 30 today.
As of today.
5 years from now, he's 35. Chill. Why would that benefit Giannis? Outside of loyalty,
so now we're talking about something different. No,
we're not. No, the whole question was why would Giannis stay in Milwaukee? I'm trying to get you to answer me direct question.
I did answer you. I just said
you said you moved off. You said you moved off.
I don't get why loyalty isn't a good enough.
No, it is, Mars. It's not.
Clearly, it's not. Clearly, it's not, Mars. It's not.
Mars. I feel like if we just say loyal,
we've seen guys stay on cruise just off the strength of that.
That's first off, Mars. If we just stayed on loyalty, that wouldn't be a good basketball conversation. It would just be over.
This isn't a good one.
All right, sure. I'm sure. The topic got introduced, and so we're having the discussion. I think loyalty, sure. Let's throw that in there. Number one. I just wanted to know Chills, because he's 97 chill, prime chill. I'm trying to ask him why he thinks Giannis would put himself through another year or another several years of this treatment, and he gave me his answer.
Up to Giannis?
It's not, because he's under contract, so it's not.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, what if the Bucks just say no?
Right, it isn't up to Giannis. He is under contract. Let's be clear about that, and that does matter.
Yeah, we're not gonna trade you.
If he wants to go, if he wants to go, he's gonna be able to go because he has that type of power.
He can go in 2028.
Mega superstars.
He can go in 2028.
No, that's not how relationships work in the NBA.
If he says, "I want to be traded," they're gonna trade him.
He could ask out.
They don't have to, but they're going to. That's what happens every time.
Yes.
Maybe the Bucks aren't going to do what happens every time.
If a superstar of Giannis's caliber comes out and says, "I want to be traded," they get traded. There's no if, ands,
it's not in the Bucks' interest to trade him.
They don't got a trade. They don't.
Did you say?
There's not in the Bucks' best interest to trade him.
Swiper, he is the.
According to who?
According to Milwaukee, he's the one on the moniker.
According to you,
what do we have?
According to common sense.
According to building a franchise, why?
What do they have if they move over?
For a GM,
what do they have?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Yeah, that's your
opinion. They trade Giannis. They're not gonna.
What do they have if they move
over? Hold on, I want to hear this, Mars, please.
Look at their roster and where
they trade Giannis, and their future is even darker than it currently is.
No,
they don't have their. Crazy. That was the same reason you guys just told me they need to trade Giannis. They don't have their future picks, so they trade
doesn't mean their future
and rebuild so the Pelicans get the #1 pick.
Okay, well, let me explain why they're. So I got it. I'll answer that. I'll answer that directly. I'll answer it directly. So the issue is, if you cannot build, so if you're a GM or you're in ownership, and especially for
just
GM,
got extended, by the way, the GM just got extended.
I know,
so
right. And then on top of that, you're already an apron team. The way that the financial implications of this NBA and this CBA work, again, the question that we got, this goes back to point number 2. Who's taking Kyle Kuzma's contract? There's a whole. We already got there. But he's not a good. I'm saying that who around. If you can convince someone in the league to give you positive assets or not a bad or not bad contract in return for Kyle Kuzma, then that's a win. I don't see that happening. That's my perspective. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. But Mars, the issue is in this new CBA, being expensive and getting older are not good things. Because the more expensive you are, the higher the luxury tax. The higher the luxury tax, the more the owner has to pay, and then the owner feels pressure because he has to pay for all these different things, and then you're footing the bill, huh?
Who's on the books for next season for the Bucks?
I know Kevin Porter's a free agent.
Because Brook Lopez is off the books. Brook Lopez, I know Brook Lopez is off the books.
Brook Lopez.
Like, as far as I know,
Bobby
the only
Porter's
people who have
maybe a free
contracts,
agent.
the only people I know who have contracts for next year is Dame, Giannis, and Kyle Kuzma. I'm fairly confident you could get off Kyle Kuzma's contract. I'm fairly confident.
Do y'all think that
is either a player option or
Bobby Portis has 13, Pat Connaughton has 9, Kevin Porter has 2.
You turn into expiring contracts that you can move.
Which is golden for other teams.
Like,
Other teams love that.
Isn't like it's not in the Bucks' interest to trade Giannis. It's
Other
in the Bucks'
teams
interest to
love
trade.
Hold on, right quick. Swiper, you were making a point why it is in their best interest. So can you finish that point?
Yeah, I think that being expensive and being where they're going to be located and being older are not good things. If you're expensive and old, then you're not winning anything in the league. I do think there's more incentive based on where the CBA is. You can look at the Thunder. You can look at the Celtics. The Celtics, their best interest is to keep their team together. But they're not going to, more than likely, because footing, again, here's the ownership bill. Like, they're already maxed out with the apron. But then now there's a $400 million extra tax penalty the ownership would have to pay, which is why they're selling the team. Because that's damn near $500 million to keep this team together under the CBA. I'm saying that if you're an old team and not winning, that is counterinstructive because you're losing money and you suck. So when I'm saying that it is in their best interest in the long term to recoup their trade assets, recoup their draft picks, get the roster younger, go cheap, and then you build through the draft, which is what the whole CBA is designed to do, to stay young, give owners an excuse not to pay people, and also so you can build around the draft organically. But again, eventually you're going to get penalized like the Thunder, because the Thunder have 4 players that are probably going to be worth a max contract in 2 years, and they're going to have to make decisions around their roster based on those players. And I'm saying in this CBA chill, I think it's reductive. I hate the CBA. This CBA is counterproductive. I think they're building a team. And I think a lot of people are running long term. Sure. A lot of teams are running away fast, trying to get cheaper as soon as possible. And that's why the Memphis Grizzlies with the JJJ contract, they're going to be like, they're going to be fighting within the pay that. The Tyler Hero contract with the Miami Heat. They don't want to pay him $50 million a year. All around the league, they're trying to skim margins. 100%. And you see Denver did it. Denver did it with having no KCP, Zeke, all this other stuff. Like, I think all teams are doing this. So again, this is my opinion. I do think in the long term might be better for them.
And I feel like that's fair. But back to what Mars was just talking about, the fact that we have these guys coming off the books, that's how we can get some of our draft picks back. Now, sure, I'm not going to get a number 2 pick in the draft. I'm not going to get a number 5 pick in the draft for Connaughton or for Bobby Portis. No, I'm not going to get that. But I can get some of my draft pick back if I move off of these guys. To move off of Giannis says not only am I losing all of these other guys, because these other guys come off the books after this year, I'm going to lose Giannis too, on top of losing these other guys. So I basically have to start this entire thing over. Not just without Giannis. I got to start this thing over with everybody, because 9 of these guys are going to be gone. Do I really want to do that? I don't want to do that.
It depends on who you trade Giannis for, though. You could, yes, we can get draft picks, but you can also get young assets too. I'm assuming if you trade them to, once again, the Spurs, Rockets, Thunder, Grizzlies, you're gonna get a young star back, maybe 2. There you go, and on top of draft picks.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ron.
If
you Milwaukee, answer this question for me really quickly. If you Milwaukee, and you guys know how I feel about him, but if you call up Houston and ask for Jalen Green, what's the price tag on him?
If Jalen Green gets them Giannis, then they don't even want to be a serious franchise.
I agree.
I ain't even talking about Giannis.
100%. I agree.
I'm not even talking about
Kyle
Giannis. Is that the price tag for Jalen Green?
No,
Probably.
I would do that.
Jalen Green is worth more than that. Are y'all crazy?
Jalen Green's worth more than that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're gonna hand over Kyle Kuzma for Jalen Green, I'm doing that today.
Jalen
Green, he hella inconsistent, but
I'm doing that today.
No, he's consistent.
At being inconsistent. That's what
he's very consistent.
Absolutely no way.
He's consistently not good. That's what he is.
Are y'all saying like people entertain that trade?
Yo, don't. It's
I would
certain
make-
trolls you guys just gotta let just go.
Yeah.
Go over it. Just,
Yeah, I'm
hey,
not-
I just
let certain trolls
don't
roll over your
think it's
shoulder.
in the. I just don't think it's in the
Those
Bucks'
choices.
best interest to trade
That's
Giannis.
fine.
That's where I'm at. I don't think it makes sense for the Bucks, who don't own their picks, to go into a rebuild.
Mars,
I
you
just-
always say that, but I'm like, right now they don't own no picks either way it goes. And they
Yeah,
don't
so keep
own
the
a
guy
good
who can
future.
keep you in the playoffs.
Mars,
No,
Mars,
my thing is,
Mars. I ask you
would-
this.
Here's the thing,
even
this-
if I can't get my own picks, if I can get other picks, that's still good. And on top of that, if I
The
can get
idea
young
is you
players-
trade Giannis because he wants to win, right? Which means you have to trade into a team that will have a serious chance of winning once they get
I
him,
don't
right?
have to trade Giannis nowhere that he wants to go. I'm the owner. I can send your ass wherever I want to send you to.
So if he can do that, then I have the same leverage to say, if you ask out, I don't have to trade you at all.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about from the GM's perspective. I don't have to be loyal to you, Giannis. I don't.
You
So it's
don't,
the same
you
thing
don't,
I
but
just
that's gonna deter other people from coming to play with you.
Well,
You know how
well,
that's,
yeah,
that's how
but
the NBA goes.
What free
That's how the
agents
NBA
do the
goes.
Bucks get any?
Yeah, that's what I'm not thinking about free
Barry
agents.
Trent.
I'm because
that was my
drafting
question.
trades
I
anyway.
mean,
It's not like they're the Lakers where they need to have good player relations. Like
you do
free agents
Giannis
don't
like
go
that.
to Milwaukee regardless.
But listen, you do Giannis like that, and somebody like Dame is going to say that's not a team I'm going to get traded to. Like it's stuff like that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the
They
day,
didn't
I
wanna
don't know
go
if
to
it's
Milwaukee.
But
He
But
was
guess
cool
what Portland
going to
did?
Milwaukee. He
Traded him
okayed
to
it.
Milwaukee.
He okayed it though.
He did
He didn't okay
He
that.
didn't have no trade clause. There's no he okayed it. He just went.
You crazy as hell. You think Dame didn't have an okay? He didn't say okay.
He
to
got
that trade.
traded. He got traded.
he had an
ain't
invisible
Vanderbilt.
no trade. He
ain't
basically-
Vanderbilt.
There's
He
no
ain't
such thing
Vanderbilt.
as an invisible no trade.
He
There's
ain't
no such thing as
Vanderbilt.
that.
That's basically
The
what
Bucks,
it is.
the
That's
Bucks
basically-
said
One of
Bucks
two
gave a
things
trade
go on.
package. The Blazers accepted it. Dame had to go pack his bags.
Bro, every NBA, every
If you don't
NBA
think they had a
star, superstar
conversation
is
with
picked
Dame
where they go.
before they did that, you're crazy.
It,
If you
it was.
think they just
It
I just
was-
wanna-
it was-
I
it
just
was
wanna make
before
sure
the
that
game
you
got
guys-
paid.
Milwaukee,
Okay,
you're crazy.
Dame ain't
I
didn't
just-
want to go to the Bucks, and then guess
Okay,
what?
I
He
just
ended up
wanna
in
make sure
Portland
you
was,
guys.
Dame was so loyal to Portland, they definitely had conversations with Dame going into that trade, bro. There's no way
100%.
that They traded that.
Yeah,
man.
they said the conversation was
Milwaukee.
you ain't going to Miami. That was the conversation.
Okay, so you think there was one destination that he was going to, and that's it?
Yes, it was Miami. That's what
It
he
was
wanted
very
to do.
obvious. Yes, I remember.
wanted to go to
reporting.
Miami.
He wanted to go to
Well, he
Miami.
dodged that bullet.
Miami, but he was okay with going. Bro, it's cool.
Dame,
No,
He had a list
Dame-
of like 5 teams, and the Bucks weren't on it. I remember the list. I don't remember the teams on the list. I know the Bucks weren't on the list.
And not
Dame-
only
Dame
that,
was
and not
the
only
same
I
as
that,
I'm
said,
going to
that has
Milwaukee.
nothing to do with what I said.
He ain't want to go
Listen,
to Milwaukee, but he
okay.
ended up in Milwaukee.
And if you think that they didn't talk to him before that, you're crazy. That's all.
and
I'm
they
saying.
did talk to him before that. But the point is that
What they
this
spoke
doesn't
to him
just
and
have to
said was,
work
"You're
out.
going to Milwaukee."
Okay, first and
That's not
foremost,
how that went, and I
this
guarantee
isn't-
you.
and I can guarantee you that it didn't just go like, okay, Dame, we're here to accommodate you. No, we're not just here to accommodate
That's
you.
fine.
This
I'm
has
not
to
saying
work
it
out
went like
for us
that either,
too.
but it
So
didn't go how Buddy said it went.
if it worked out where Dame went to Washington and they got 4 1s, guess what Dame has to be? Dame would have been in Washington, D.C.
No,
If
he
it
wouldn't.
worked out with
okay,
if
he
it worked
wouldn't
out
have
with
did that.
Dame would have been in New
No, he
Orleans,
wouldn't
The
have
it
la-
was
the
like
last-
5 1s in Zion
wouldn't
for
have did that.
Dame, and it
The la-
worked out
the-
for Portland. Guess where Dame ass would have been? He would have been in New Orleans.
The
Hell
last
yes.
5 to 7 years, has
Disagree.
there been a star or superstar traded that hasn't gotten to a destination where he wants to be? Has that happened? Because
Last
Damon,
5 years.
last 5 years,
James Harden
I
ain't
feel
want to
like
go to Brooklyn.
James Harden
Luka?
did not want to go to
What about
James Harden
Luka and
wanted to go
Anthony
to Philly,
Davis?
and he got traded to Brooklyn.
What about Luka and Anthony Davis?
Luka
So
ain't even
y'all
want to get
saying-
traded.
You fight that? Do you fight that?
Saying.
So I
Luka
just
did
gave
not
you
want-
2.
that was
Plus,
some
Dame
whole
ain't wanna
other
go to
shit. That
Milwaukee,
Luka
that's
AD
three.
shit is some whole other shit.
That was a trade. It was a trade though.
It
You
was
like,
three.
it
I
was a
just gave
trade.
you
Y'all-
3
y'all-
different ones. Harden
That's
ain't
fair.
want to go to
That's fair.
Brooklyn. Dame ain't want to go to Milwaukkie, and Luka ain't even want to leave the team.
Harden got talked
Anthony,
into
don't
going
look at
to
Anthony
Brooklyn. He did
Davis,
not
Mars.
wanna be
Anthony
there.
Davis got traded too,
Kawhi ain't
Mars.
want to go to Toronto.
You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis didn't want to be in Dallas.
That's like 5 different players we just gave.
But that goes to my
Not
point, though.
The
Like,
Harden one's not a good
the
example.
Bucks could ship Giannis.
Why?
wherever.
Whoa, stop right there, Ron. Whoa, stop right there, Ron. Why is
What?
Harden not a good example? Number one, he wanted out of Houston.
Brooklyn too.
That's number one. Number one, he wanted out of Houston. He wanted to go to Philly. That's where he wanted to go because that's where his
He ended
man
up in
was,
Philly.
the GM.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up in Philly via Brooklyn, which is where he didn't want to go. He got talked into
Shit, he
going.
got there.
He got
He was
he got
cool with
talked
going to
into going to
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn. He got talked into going to Brooklyn.
When you say
And-
talk into going to Brooklyn, like, yeah, that wasn't his original destination, but they
That's
still
the
had a
point.
conversation with
And
him.
these-
And
the
he was
point.
like, I'm cool with going to Brooklyn. That is how those
He's
conversations
cool
And
going
these
to
stars
Brooklyn
and
because of
superstars-
this.
It's not. Hey, James, you just got traded to Brooklyn. pack your bags. That's not how that goes. That's all I'm
No.
saying.
And these
I
stars
agree,
and
those are
superstars,
not the
they're
destinations that they wanted to go. The only one
They're-
that was a
exactly.
great example was the AD and Luka one. Yeah, neither of them.
everybody is ending up
Normally
in a
you
situation where
talk
they
to
can
a
win.
Harden not
superstar
gonna be in
player
Brooklyn.
before you ship them out. That's just how that goes.
And James
And
Harden
all-
ended up. Go ahead.
All these players are going to a position where they can win. They're going to a team where there is a chance they can win. They're not going to no bottom feeder. They're not going to no lottery team. They're going to teams that are in position to win. That's kind of my point. They're not getting shipped off to fucking Charlotte. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah, and a lot of times that does happen too, because I'm not just going to take you on if I know that you don't want to be here. And also if I know that you're not going to sign a contract.
You're not going to re-sign.
That's the big thing. If you're not going to re-sign, I don't want you to
Leonard did this. Kawhi Leonard did that. Kawhi Leonard made it clear that he wasn't
Toronto took a
re-signing.
big
It was
swing, but yeah, no,
100% a risk.
That's a good example. But Toronto took a big swing and it worked out.
It did work. 100%.
It worked out. That's the only
y'all-
championship Toronto will ever see. So it did work.
Yeah, I think all of y'all are correct in a certain, to a certain extent.
Yeah, no,
I think
they
y'all
make some good points. I can't
points,
argue.
bro. But my only thing is though, I just want to say, if I'm Giannis, I'm definitely looking around like, what's out there. But if I'm the Bucks, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Unless we getting something crazy back, you better park it right here in Milwaukee and enjoy your stay. I'm not just trading Giannis just because Dame got hurt and because like Giannis can keep us at least somewhat relevant. Maybe we can steal somebody in free agency. Maybe somebody does want Kuz for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they do want a older rim protector that can stretch the floor like Brook Lopez. I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers. All I'm saying is Giannis gonna have to sit down and wait until I can figure something out, because I'm not just like, oh, who wants Giannis? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take that player and a couple of draft picks. Nah, we need something. We need something significant for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Right.
What do you do if Giannis comes into your office and says, "I want out. Like I'm cool."
I tell him what I just said. Giannis, you want to go? We can see what we can do, but I can't guarantee you that I'm just gonna trade you right now. Like, I'm not just gonna kill my franchise for some player relationship. Like, just so that everybody knows I accommodated Giannis when he was ready to leave. I'm not gonna tank my franchise just so that everybody thinks or believes that we're gonna do everything the star player wants to do. As a GM, you got a job to do. I got to think about that.
How it's been.
I feel you. But then what do you do when you get a Jimmy Butler situation where now, all right, cool, you gonna play that game, well, I'm gonna play my game then. And now he's
it's not. But the thing about it is with that, bro, is I'm not playing with you, Giannis. Like, I'm not playing no game with you. I'm not trying to disrespect your wishes. I'm not trying to play with you. I'm not gonna tank my franchise for you. That's all that is. Like, how But
okay,
Ron,
okay.
it's not because we have Giannis. We have Giannis. So it's not.
I feel you, Ron.
For that reason,
But that's all I'm saying. So I hear what you're saying, bro. You're 100% right. Like, if Giannis wants to go, he can go. I'm not gonna hold you hostage, but I'm not gonna kill everything for you. Like, you're not gonna come in here and be like, hey, I want to go to Orlando. Make it, well, shit, if you want to go to Orlando, actually, well, shit, bring me fries. We can make that work.
We can make Orlando work.
We can make Orlando work. But if you want to just go anywhere, like Giannis, you just can't do that, bro. And I think Giannis has enough respect for the organization too that he won't just push out like that. I think but I don't know if he'll request. Maybe he will, but I don't see Giannis being one of them dudes that's okay. Well, I'm not gonna play. I'm not showing up to camp. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Giannis that type of person, bro. I don't know him, but I'm just saying I don't get those vibes from Giannis. Though. Hey man, great win by the Patriots last night, by the way.
All right, before we get into that, I do want to let you guys know about a beautiful app called Prize Picks. Now go ahead and download the app because, well, in Prize Picks, you can run your game, control your game, and ultimately win your game. And when you use promo code PANEL, you will get $50 back instantly when you play just $5. It's so easy, it's so simple that we are going to show you how to do it right here and now. Big Ox, this is what you're rocking with today. Talk to us about these picks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, today we're going with LeBron. All LeBron got to do is get 2 dunks. Julius Randle. I need Julius to get 1 dunk. Luka Doncic, 5.5 PRA in the first 5 minutes of the game. I'm pretty sure he's capable of that. I expect him to come out aggressive. The same with Anthony Edwards. I expect Anthony Edwards to come out aggressive as well, and he just has to go more than 4.5 PRA in the first 5 minutes. I think this slip will be pretty exciting, yo.
I like the first 5-minute ones.
Yeah, those are
I like
cool.
them a lot. Yeah.
That's it though, Ron. Just short and sweet.
Action.
Cool. That's how we get into it today, y'all. Make sure you download the app, use promo code Panel, and we'll catch y'all in the winner's circle.
Hey, Ron, before you move on to the Pacers or whatever, I just want to just get this last thing off because I forgot when we was talking about it. Giannis did this shit to himself, okay? I just want to just remind you.
When he sabotaged Drew Holiday?
Yeah, I just want to remind y'all that Giannis did this shit to himself.
Which,
so.
by the way, Ox, because you've been saying to me a lot, and you bring this up all the time to me about the basketball gods, and I was thinking about this last night.
They don't play that shit,
let me ask you a question, Ox. Is this retribution for what they did to Adrian Griffin?
Oh, that too. Oh, I forgot about Adrian Griffin. I think so. I mean, the basketball gods are real. They real. They gonna come and get that get back for sure. And
one thing I will say quickly. One thing I noticed about this whole Giannis situation, the Bucks losing, we didn't say shit about Doc Rivers. Nothing's been said about Doc Rivers.
Here we go with the bullshit.
Here
we go with the bullshit. Here we go.
I can't blame Doc Rivers for what unfolded yesterday.
I agree.
But to be fair,
so
down
easy.
7. It's never been done before. 7-point lead with 35 seconds left in overtime in the fourth quarter. I know, but of 1,609 until yesterday.
Okay, wait a minute. So
It's a tough
really quickly,
coincidence. I don't know what to tell you.
Really quickly. Okay, really quickly, Swiper. So number one, when Gary Trent turned the ball over, I don't know if y'all remember this, but we just came out of the huddle. So we just went over
Which turnover?
The first one. When he turned it over to Nembhard. We literally just got out the huddle.
Hey, shout out to second round pick Andrew Nembhard flying across the court.
That's number one. Okay. Wait a minute. And I want you to stay right there. Hold that point. Stay right there. Hold that point. That's number one. Number two, Doc already told them in the huddle, we have a foul to give. What happens? Haliburton runs right down the gut, gets fouled, and won. That's not coaching. That's nothing to do with coaching.
Andre Jackson's there.
Nothing.
So he could have,
That's nothing to do with coaching.
Mr. DMP the whole series.
Chill, but you know what does have to do with coaching?
Here we go.
You know what does have to do with coaching?
I'm listening, Ron.
Adjustments.
He went with the lineup he wanted, Ron.
And when did he do it?
How long did it take
him to do it?
Better late than never. Brooke came out the starting lineup like we've been begging. Kuz out the starting
Everybody
lineup.
been talking about Gary Trent Jr. dropping the ball. I get it. He dropped the ball. First of all, it almost was a turnover before AJ Green caught it. It was almost a turnover there. It was just like we are ignoring the fact that he almost threw that ball away anyway.
We literally just can't.
Or he almost didn't catch it. Whatever it was a terrible play call. Doc Rivers has to assume some blame here. Like, you got one of the greatest players ever on your team, 30-20. They can't win the game. They're pissing away huge leads. Like, what is going on? What is going on? How does Doc
why is Giannis shooting a 3 in overtime?
I'm not blaming Gary Trent. I'm not blaming Doc. Giannis got to take a lot of the blame, bro.
A lot of it. But no, you know why Doc gets some of that blame?
I'm blaming Gary Trent. I'm sorry.
Because
I know the heroics he did.
I hear you, but Giannis,
I understand the heroics he did to get them in that position.
First of all, yeah.
But I'm sorry, that last minute of basketball was egregious. Like,
Gary Trent was
he has to take the
But last minute of the game, you got a superstar like Giannis, and the fact that you can't give the ball to Giannis and have him close the game, that's on Giannis.
Part of that's on Doc, though.
We know that he's not gonna make the free throws. We know
Thank
that.
you.
That's on Giannis.
He's not gonna make.
I mean, but what? To be fair, what center have you?
Because Gary Trent's heroics are the reason they were even up.
How many centers can you give the ball to end the game like that, though? To be fair,
Jokic, Embiid.
No, Embiid.
Oh, you said to end the game like that or end the game?
I mean, but non-ball handlers, though, to be fair, in NBA history, that's not Shaq.
Okay, so why is he handling the ball?
You can't just say Giannis is a center like he's
Kevin Porter Jr. has TTE, but that's besides the point.
Can't throw center at Giannis like he's just some stiff who can't move. Like Giannis drives.
But I'm saying, but he's not. He's not like a. He's not a.
You're right, but look,
he plays point guard 90% of the game, and now we're gonna call him a center when it's convenient.
He shouldn't be playing.
No,
that's a Doc problem. That's the point I'm making.
That's a roster construction.
Yeah, KPJ is supposed to fix that.
That's a roster construction issue, man.
Yeah, Giannis, with the game on the line, to win the game, he shot a fadeaway over 2 people. That's not a good.
But imagine it went in though.
That's
a great shot.
Yeah, but that's not a shot I want. Giannis,
I mean, I knew it wasn't going in. I don't know what other people. I knew it wasn't going
threes. Like Giannis got.
All I know is this. I would like credit for what I said about the Pacers all year. I would like credit going what I said going
If they
into the
beat the
series.
Cavs, you'll get credit.
No. I was completely right about Brook Lopez when Ron said that he's the same value with Al Horford. And we've all watched this series.
That was Ron just dying.
I know, but Ron can he can self-admit sometimes too. It was a great series.
What was the prediction about the Pacers? What was the prediction?
Well, I thought
the Patriots were going to beat the Bucks all year, but the Bucks had won the season series, and so people were like, well, blah 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 blah. Giannis is going to have 40, 20, and whatever. It's like, and then Hallie, but he didn't. Hallie was great. Hallie was great.
Are we okay? Stop there.
Smith was great. Pascal except for yesterday.
Haliburton being overrated, is that a thing? Is that a thing?
We already had this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, underrated.
He should make
underrated.
And I actually went back and did when Mars put this on my mind. I actually went back and did some homework. He should make the All-Pro team.
Yeah,
he should. Yeah. He actually. With that being said, Swiper, but Swiper to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What did you like about Indiana in this series throughout the course of this series? Not just last night, but what do you think catapulted them over this Milwaukee team?
6'3" elite half-court point guard, full-court passer, playmaker, all that. A 6'6" 2 guard that can shoot and defend very well, and can defend Giannis. By the way, I don't know if y'all peeped that. Aaron Nesmith, shout out. Benny off the bench,
trouble every game.
That's cool. He did his job. Pascal Siakam, All NBA player this year, is getting votes. Miles Turner, excellent season for Miles Turner. Excellent shooter, rim protector, rim deterrent, all of it. Shout out Mars. And then their bench, Ox's favorite player in the NBA. What's his name, Ox? TJ McConnell. My dog.
The best point guard on the team.
He did have a really good series.
Hey, Ox, when he gets under the basket, that little turnaround that he does, yeah, man. Steve Nash dribble.
We just let Ox say that and we keep going. I'm just asking.
Yeah, but
it's a long story.
We've been dealing with
it's a long running take.
It ain't no thing, dog. Don't worry about it.
We've been dealing
with it. I'm just asking. We keep going.
And then my guy, since his rookie year, Andrew Nembhard, incredible player. What a series. What a series.
Came in and gave some good minutes.
Jarris Walker played well. And Jackson's not even here, y'all. They don't even got their real leaper. Obi Toppin is their second best leaper. Isaiah Jackson's the best leaper they got. He didn't even play. Obi Toppin had a good series. He's a great floor spacer. They just got a bunch of guys, y'all. I think they're gonna push the Cleveland Cavaliers. I can't wait.
I
cannot wait for that series.
That's gonna be an amazing series.
Push the Cavs. What does that mean?
I think it can go 7. I think it can go 7. I think it can go 7.
You saying it's going 7, but you still
I
say
think it can go 7.
Is Garland gonna be that game one?
Well, he should be. He might be a little, but they have 3 days or 4 days for the series start, so that should be.
That's gonna be a very interesting series.
I think because they got to get the other series out the way, so it should be like 3 or 4 days.
But you're taking the Cavs.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they're the best team. I always want to lean best team going into the series.
Okay.
And they technically have the best player.
Who's the best player?
Hold on, right quick. I want to get everybody's prediction from this series, and I want to hear what you guys got to say about this. This is obviously the first second round series that is locked in, so it's exciting, and it's two good teams.
No, there's two. There's two, Ron.
Both East series.
There's two. Wolves and Warriors. That's a lock series.
Shut up.
Y'all, before we get into that, though, I want to encourage you guys to download the Gametime app, just like these two good guys right here. Now, when you download the Gametime app, it gives you an opportunity to get those hard-to-get playoff seats, such as the Cavs and the Pacers, ahead of everybody else. Now, Gametime, they make it easier to get tickets, but they also make it faster to get tickets too. You know, prices on the Gametime app, they actually go down the closer it gets to tip off. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and they have the lowest price guaranteed. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. They got zone deals, so you can save even when you choose a section and let Gametime just choose the seats for you. They have the lowest price guaranteed, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. So you should take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but in the words of a great man named Ox, who gives a damn about terms? Use code CLNS and get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Get in the game right now today. See you in the playoffs.
I would never say that. Make sure you read all the terms, read the fine print. Don't sign up for nothing until you do that.
I said of a great man named Big Ox. You little Ox.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. But
that's cool.
let's
Pacers is 6. Pacers is 6.
Ooh. But before we move on to this, I got just a quick question, Ron. This was like your wife and your side chick fighting. Like,
which one is who, by the way?
Yeah, what's going on, Ron? Like, how you feeling about this? Because this
he roots for
his wife got beat up.
His wife got her ass.
His wife got beat up.
Hey, well, so the thing about it is,
and then Ron watched his wife get beat up and jumped in the car with his side chick. This dude don't got
he
no
do
loyalty,
nothing.
man.
He just bounced for her.
You are a sick individual, Ron.
He's fucking crazy, Ron. What's
can
going
I
on?
can I
You are a
explain
sick
what's,
individual.
can I explain what's going on and why I'm in Cancun right now?
Why?
Because you can't go
So,
home.
check it out. I'm a loyalist like Giannis, and I stand 10 toes down. But I refuse to get married to a girl who gonna get her ass kicked and think she coming back to me. So look, check it out. Hey, check it out, honey. If you can't hold it down, hey, chill. I gotta enter the transfer portal. You know, hey, like all these other 5-star prospects, I'm going where the NIL bag is, and apparently, right now, that's with Haliburton and his dad. So you know
when I do it.
So you know what?
Wow, all right.
You know what? You're right. I'm getting married again to my mistress. All right. The papers are signed. Pacers in 6. I'm with you, Los.
Pacers in 6. Pacers in 6. Pacers in 6. It's people don't understand, bro. Like the Cavs is nice, but Haliburton's a big guard. I don't know Darius Garland gonna be able to really contain Haliburton. Darius Garland's already
About 6'2".
Darius Garland is not finna guard.
Tyrese ain't no 6'2".
He ain't that tall.
Tyrese like 6'5".
Tyrese 6'5", bro.
Yeah, he's six.
Tyrese, you talking about Maxey?
He's 6'6". He's 6'3" in real life. You know what I mean?
Tyrese
Mitchell taller than you think he is. To be fair, you know what I mean. So I think D-Mitch,
Yeah, I think D-Mitch is bigger than what y'all say he is.
D-Mitch is like 6'3".
Yeah, but he looked like it too. He looked about chill type. Look, but y'all ignoring the best player. What they gonna do with Darius Garland? You know what Darius Garland finna do in this series with a Jared Allen, Evan Mobley pick and roll?
That three-headed monster they got in Indiana at the guard positions, they locking up, bro. That's one thing I can say. They are locking up. They playing hard every night. They playing defense. They playing offense. They playing both sides of the floor. It don't matter. They going all out in Indiana. That three-headed monster. Miles Turner and Allen. I feel like this year they cancel each other out. They cancel each other out this year, in my opinion. So now you left with Mobley and Siakam. Another great matchup, but Siakam all-star. And somebody, I forgot who said it, but they say he all NBA this year. So
Siakam, wait. Did you just say Siakam's an all-star? I'm 100% confident I saw Evan Mobley in San Francisco. I'm confident.
Yeah, they both are. That's his point.
Yes.
They match up. That's his point.
He's gonna be a good match.
Which one was better in the first round?
Cook.
Who was better? I barely watched that Cavs series, but Siakam looked really good. So
Siakam looked good. Evan Mobley didn't really have to do all that much. So I'm gonna say Siakam.
Having to deal with Bam? Having to deal with Bam? He didn't have to do that much?
Them last
Oh my gosh, come on,
brother.
Bam's not that good.
Nothing, brother.
Not that good offensively. I'm sorry.
Come on.
That
was the worst series I've seen all in years. I mean, I'm sorry.
All y'all dudes care about is buckets. Like, I'm going up against one of the best defensive players.
They lost by
to do.
No, what I'm saying
to deal with Bam. We're not talking about
Bam's
dribble handles.
He wasn't doing
and with Davion Mitchell, like who is this? Like that's not all the team I have to guard. Now I got to guard Miles Turner and a bunch of other players.
I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about Bam specifically. Defensive player that he's.
Bam ass at home, so it don't matter what's going on with Bam.
All right, fair enough.
At the end of the day, I feel like the Pacers really do match up. They match up real well with the Cavs.
Vegas.
You said what?
Bam's in Vegas now. He left. He left yesterday.
That's a fact. He in Vegas.
That's facts. That's facts. I don't know. I feel like it's more even than we thinking. Of course, the Cavs had a great season all year long, but it is the Cavaliers, so no disrespect.
Mars, who offense is better since Hallie's been healthy?
That's like saying it's the Knicks. Like
the Cavs are a better offense.
Relax.
Y'all ain't one shit.
Yo, Jay, I'm gonna go around the room. So Los already said he got Pacers in 6. Jay, who you rocking with in this series?
The Cavs. I'm from Cleveland. I'm a big Cavs guy, so we're going with the Cavs. We're the best team in the East. I don't know what Lowe said all that. Oh, we got a 3-headed monster at guard. That's cool. You're gonna have to run through a bunch of picks. You're gonna have to really guard. It's not like we're gonna sit there and ISO y'all. Evan Mobley has been better than Siakam all season. Evan Mobley's a defensive player of the year. We have a better defense than them. We can match up with everything that they do. Everything that they do, we can match up with. We're not the Cavs aren't the better defensive team.
Likewise. I feel like everything y'all do, they can match up with.
First of all, Kenny Atkinson has turned this team into a completely different team than we were with J.B. Bickerstaff. Completely different team. The lineups is way better. We're getting more out of everybody. We added DeAndre Hunter, so now we have a great wing defender who can also come off the bench and give us 20 if he needs to.
He's a good player.
Ty Jerome is wildly underrated. Like people don't even talk about Ty Jerome. Coming off the bench, Ty Jerome has been one of the best six-men this entire season. He's coming in straight off all buckets. He's hard to guard because he played awkward as hell, but Ty Jerome has been hooping. So, like, we are super deep. We still got guys like Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, who going to come in, give us good minutes. Like, the Cavs are super deep, but just at the top, the way we stagger our lineups now, we can play with Evan Mobley at the 5. We can play with Jared Allen at the 5.
Tristan Thompson.
Bro, I don't know what. Just don't.
He lost when he said
if he needs to,
he's gonna get minutes. He's gonna get some run.
Give us a couple minutes. Like
he's gonna get some run in this series. Yes, he is.
He give us a couple minutes. We're not holding our hats on that.
If Tristan Thompson is playing meaningful minutes, this series is over.
Do something about this dude. Get this dude up out of here, yo. Because
I'm disrespecting NBA champions like that, bro. Like TT can give us 5 good minutes if he has to. Like if somebody getting foul trouble, TT good, bro.
Chill, where you at? Chill, where you at? Where you at with it, chill? Because I don't even like you telling me give me where you at?
5, bro.
Oh, I got the Cavs smoking these dudes in 5 games.
Thank you.
I got the Cavs smoking these dudes in 5 games off the strength that number one of the main reasons why the Pacers are as good as they are is because they play with the pace that they play with, right? They play fast. Well, Cavs got one of the best transition defenses in the league, so they can slow them down. That's number one. Number two, when we get into the half-court offense, Pacers are an average toward the below-average half-court team. They're not very good in the half-court. The Cavs, on the other hand, they got the best pick and dive offense in the game with both Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. So now what that leaves you with is your rotation guy. Well, Cavs got 9, maybe 10 guys. You got 7, maybe 8 guys.
What?
7, maybe 8 guys. I think you got 7, maybe 8 guys at the most. And when we get down to the meat and potatoes of this, and Mars knows this about me, when we get down to the end of it, my best player is better than your best player. And Donovan Mitchell is better than your best player. And when we get down to the meat and potatoes of games, Donovan Mitchell is closing out games. I think the Cavs, in addition to their defense, their offense is better. I think they smoked the Pacers in 5 games.
Our second best.
I mean, but I actually think that they have 9 legit players they'll play, and Thomas Bryant will get minutes in this series as well, because their bench is Jarrett Walker, Benny, TJ, Obi, and then Thomas Bryant. So like they actually have like about 10 players.
I'll stick at 8.
Ben Shepherd, 11. They got a. But Ben Shepherd's good though. He's
on a scale from 1 to 10. As a rotation player, Mars, on a scale from 1 to 10, Mars, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Where's Ben Shepherd as a rotation player in your estimate?
I mean, it depends how well he's shooting the ball, but he's mid. I don't expect him to play much in this series. I think they'll play 9. Personally, I think they'll play 9.
Yeah.
Jarris, Obi, TJ, Benedict Mathurin will be there 4 guys off the bench.
Yeah.
Ben and Thomas Bryant will be more situational, and then obviously that's 9 5. So they got 9 personally, I think. But
it's gonna be I mean, I get your logic. I really feel at least maybe this is more hopeful. I want to see 7. I want to see 7. But we probably get.
I would like to be honest with you. I'd love to see a 6-7 game series. I just think that I think the difference in this series is going to be half court offense. You guys know better than I do that once the playoffs start, the game slows down, and your half court offense is going to be everything. And if you think that, I mean, one of the prime reasons why the Lakers are what they are is because their half court offense isn't what it could be. All these dudes doing is ISO basketball. Well, when you get with the Indiana Pacers and you get into this half court offense, if you're not putting this defense on the defense and making them guard multiple possessions, keeping the ball moving, making these guys guard as opposed to one dribble, one pass, one shot, you're taking Cleveland off the hook. And that's who Indiana is. Indiana is a team that their half court offense is deficient. And I think that's going to be the difference. I think that's going to be the difference in this series.
They have a very good half court off, but what I actually think is going to happen, I don't think either one of them guard each other well.
Yeah,
chill. Because remember what they did to Boston without Haliburton last year. They were pushing Boston, and like Boston had a much better defense than this Cleveland team does. That's the thing, Joe. I think it's just like out in the end of the game. I saw the same thing about the Lakers, Joe. But I think the thing is, the Cleveland has, they have so much depth that they can match depth with the Pacers, and they have the top end talent. But man, if Haliburton has one of them 2010 or 1910, 1912 series on crazy efficiency against Chill, it's so difficult to stop the constant motion. And they passed more than any other team in the playoffs by far.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up, Swiper, because now what you got is you got a perimeter defense in Cleveland that can shut that down. You got a perimeter defense in Cleveland that can slow down you guys moving the basketball the way you do because they get in the passing lane the way that they do. Their ball pressure is a lot different than what you saw in Miami. They were able to move the ball around. They were able to get a lot more. They were able to get a lot better looks than they would against Cleveland because you have defenders, and not just defenders on the perimeter. You have defenders in the paint who are versatile.
Who are the defenders on the perimeter? You feel like Hunter and Wade and
Hunter, Wade, and I know how you guys feel about Darius Garland. I'm not a huge fan of Darius Garland as an on ball defender. I do like Darius Garland in the passing lanes. I don't love him in the passing lane, but I do like Darius Garland in the passing lanes when there's disruption on the ball. I love Donovan Mitchell in the passing lane, which is gonna disrupt your ball movement. So
do they have better perimeter defenders than Pacers though?
No.
I think Nembhard and Neesmith are like legitimately the two best POA defenders in the series by a pretty good amount. So if anything, I feel like they can make it tougher for Cleveland.
Yeah,
Mathurin too.
Yeah, Mathurin's good too. But I feel like to your point, as good as their perimeter, as good as their now, Mars.
Damn, Mars, they got a squad.
Yeah, you brought up Jarris Walker. Is this his rookie season or is this year two?
Two.
This is year
he
two.
can play.
He didn't play at all.
I'm not gonna argue that point, but I feel like with those perimeter defenders that you have, the fact that Evan Mobley is so good in pick and pop, and you have to.
Oh, if he shoots 40% from three, chill.
I ain't even thinking about at the long ball line. I'm talking about pick and pop, pick and dive, and then with him working with Jared Allen in that big in that 2-man big. Now, what that does with this perimeter defense that you have, now you guys got to help. That leaves open shots for Darius Garland. That leaves open shots for Donovan Mitchell. And we know I know who Donovan Mitchell is as a playmaker when he's looking for guys like Wade. He's looking for guys like Max Strus, who is a fake shooter. I'm not going to argue that point. Yes, he is. But he'll give me a 3 or 4 game. He'll give me a game where he'll knock down 3 wide open looks. That puts so much pressure on your defense. So much pressure on your defense. I just think that their offense is better, and because their offense is better, and I think that they got a superior defense to Indiana.
I don't think you could make the argument outside of the rim protection stuff, which is fine. But I think the issue is the Pacers put you they put you on the move so often, chill, that like it almost relegates your rim defense. If that makes sense. Like it's the fact that you're not balanced defensively. Like the thing is about Hallie that makes him what he is, which is why I thought him being overrated was crazy. People don't maybe not enjoy how he plays, but because he's putting so much pressure towards the rim and then towards the corner, and then like because he's such a good passer, like they have so many options. Chill, they're gonna play 5 units, all of them can shoot, and guess who can shoot now, or at least a willing shooter. Even their backup center, Mars, what's his name? Thomas Bryant. Right? Even Thomas Bryant will pull him. Yeah. Like they just don't. They just everybody's bought into the Carlisle offense.
Who do you think is the better shooting team?
Ooh. Oh no! Well, so Cleveland's number 1, but the Patriots were number 3 in the regular season. So it's not like a crazy gap, but they're both really good shooting.
Swiper, can we get your prediction on what who you got in how many games?
I'm taking Cleveland in 7, man. I'm taking Cleveland
in 7. So you did all that hype it up.
I mean, I'm saying I think it's gonna be a long series. I think it'll be a long series.
Okay.
Underrating the Cavs perimeter defenders though, but I hear what
I just don't think they're better than the Pacers.
They're not better, but they're also not licks. Like I feel like you're making it sound like our perimeter defenders are just not good. Like
Hunter's cool.
Defense is good.
Hunter's cool.
Well, besides Garland, everybody else is like is really
Mitchell's cool.
Y'all do got the DPOY.
Don plays his ass off just in general. Then you got everybody else. They just play hard. Like, and that's half the battle. We got Isaac Okoro is a good defender. Dean Wade's a good defender. Then you come to Sam Merrill? Like he looks like he can't play defense, but he's a solid defender. He works his ass off. Like is the Cavs as a team unit play defense, and then they have the ability to funnel you down low to their bigs when they have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And which is like a huge thing for any NBA game this in today's NBA is just being able to switch. Because every team is going to match up hunt. Like they're going to match up hunt against Allen, probably not against Mobley, but against Allen and Darius Garland. Allen is not a lick out there on the perimeter. Yeah. He's not. Like he can move his feet, and it's not going to be as easy as it is when you're going up against Brook Lopez or Giannis or whoever the case may be. Because
Miles Turner can do it too, though. Pascal can do it too.
I'm taking not like Jared. Not Evan.
Well, not Evan. Not Evan. No.
I'm taking my
not like Jared. Not like Jared either.
Yeah, I take my chance with Darius Garland and Don versus Miles Turner.
That's why I think it's such a good matchup, though. I think both teams like.
Yeah,
They're very
it's going to be a
similar.
lot of fireworks in this series, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
Well,
this.
Trying to pick on Jared Allen is a recipe for disaster, bro.
Are the Pacers gonna talk that same
Don't do
shit?
that. We're not doing that.
Hallie's
That can't
just
be part of the game plan. No,
he just you know.
Ox,
just talks a
who
little
you
bit.
got?
He just talks a little bit.
I got Cleveland.
In how many games?
I can't call it. It's
Like,
gonna
if
be
you
a
had
good
to get a
series.
prediction, what would you say?
Six. I'll go with 6.
Okay, okay. Morris?
The Cavs. 4.
Okay.
Damn, Mara.
I would.
I don't know who's gonna win the games. I just know who else is
Oh,
gonna win
Marge.
the
Yeah, I
series.
forgot the prediction thing.
Yeah.
I forgot. My bad.
4.
Swiper just brought up a really good point about the perimeter defense. I mean, because that sounds like that's the perimeter offense in terms of them moving the ball, and that sounds like that's your stance, which I really like that. Right, the fact that when the ball moving, people moving, and when people moving, the defense is off balance. I get that, but the Cavs, their defense overall, I think they're great in rotations. I think they're great in switches. You don't really, I don't think that you can confuse them just with ball movement. I don't think you can confuse them with action. They're one of the better rebounding teams in the game where they can hold you to one shot. Now, I appreciate the logic of Tyrese Haliburton getting downhill and finding guys, and you're going to be able to help off of him. But there's selective shooters that you're going to come off of. To be honest with you, Swiper, I'm living with Jarris Walker shooting.
Oh no, he ain't gonna play that much though.
And even him. So to be honest with you, I got to do what I can to keep TJ McConnell out of the lane. But when he gets in the lane, there has to be pressure on him. And I don't mean just knocking him around. Yeah, I who has more depth?
Who has more depth?
Cleveland got. I think Cleveland got 10 guys. I do.
Okay.
10.
I think Cleveland got 10 guys.
Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, and
Isaac Okoro.
I don't know if I don't know if Isaac can play a lot in this series.
Isaac Okoro.
That would be 9.
They got a long ball. I know how you feel. Yes, he's gonna play. Yes, he 100% is gonna play.
This is serious. Sam Merrill.
Then Ben Shepard's gonna play.
Especially how fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both got 10. Both got 10.
Sam Merrill and Ben Shepard.
They still gonna play though, Morris.
Yeah,
I'm saying they each have 10 players they can legitimately play though.
I think the bench is gonna mean a lot in the series. This bench is gonna mean a lot in this series for both teams.
And the best bench player, by the way, in the series plays for Indiana.
Okay, respect
respecting them hard. Respecting them hard.
Well, we talking about Penny the Bucket.
That's Cap.
Respecting them hard.
We talk about Penny the Bucket, Swiper.
I love Nembhard. That's
Nembhard.
Love him. I love Nembhard. That's
Nembhard's still off the bench.
I know, but they have. By the way, Cleveland has 6 starters. I don't want to hear this Max Drews, DeAndre Hunter thing anymore.
Nembhard's still. You can't say Nembhard. You got to say TJ McConnell or someone. Nembhard's
Penny the Bucket.
Ty Jerome is better.
Ty Jerome is better, and DeAndre Hunter is better.
Then who? Oh yeah, I mean this year, yeah. I mean
Ty Jerome is the best.
Ty Jerome should have won Rookie of the Year this year, Mars.
Who?
Ty Jerome.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we didn't hear about him before this year, so he's a rookie.
Fair enough. Even though we
chill. We didn't know nothing about Ty Jerome until this year.
I remember him in Golden State, like get Jerome off the floor. Get Tyrone.
Oh my God,
Jerome. I want to bring it. What's up? Go ahead.
No, I was trying to make a joke. It's not gonna land now. You ruined it. Go ahead.
My bad.
I was gonna laugh at it.
Thanks, Ron.
But y'all, what I do want to bring up though is, my man Los brought up Tyrese Haliburton being overrated, and last night not only did he hit the game winner, but
on who?
Also,
on Giannis. Defensive player of the year.
Cooked him. Better Giannis than Brook Lopez, though.
Giannis got a number 2 vote for DPOY this year, by the way.
And you're saying he doesn't deserve it because Tyrese Haliburton beat him?
No, he didn't deserve it.
No consistency.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you a simple question. How was that being inconsistent? I'm asking
you. Not let Ox gaslight me into this.
You're not. I'm not trying to gaslight. I don't even know how to do that. What I'm asking you, Swiper, is are you telling me that he doesn't deserve a defensive player of the year vote?
No, he did not.
Simply because of that play.
I don't think he was a top 3 defender this year, so no.
But so it's not because of that play.
Not because of that play. Not because of that.
I mean, that happened a few times. Andrew Nembhard did in game 1, and then it's like they're taking turns, Ox.
All right, so Swiper, I'm just asking you a question, bro. Like, if you don't. Hey,
my turn. Oprah, you get a turn. You get a turn. You get a turn. All right, go ahead, Ron.
Just want to show Hallie some love. He hit that game winner, and the Pacers too. We didn't too much talk about that game winner. We talked about the Bucks collapsing, but we didn't talk about the Pacers' execution.
Yeah.
Also, after the game, Haliburton tweeted, "Overrate that." And this is after him averaging 18 and almost 12 for the whole series, leading the whole playoffs in assists so far. So, shout out to Haliburton. You guys want to speak on this game winner, Haliburton's play?
It was a good game.
Way to be aggressive. I'm happy he didn't shoot a step back three or something, because that's how basketball.
Anyone could get by Giannis.
I mean, that's his second game winner on Giannis this year, by the way. The 3-pointer in the corner. I think. Bucks.
Yeah, when you got someone who can't guard in space on you, it's your job to get right by you. Like, that's the job. So he did it.
Mars, can you please, Mars? We're trying to be serious around here. Giannis can guard in space, Mars. Stop.
Not Tyrese. He can't guard Tyrese in space.
Come on, man. We've seen
Mars. Are
you happy with that? Are you happy with that matchup, Chill? If you got Tyrese out there and you're coaching the Bucks, are you okay with Giannis guarding Tyrese Haliburton out there on the perimeter? I hate it. I don't ever want.
Not that far away from the basket. I'm not. No,
it's because you don't want him guarding in space.
Not that far. But
Tyrese moved too janky for him.
But he can guard in space. Let's not act like Giannis
can guard in space.
But
I'm okay.
Ben Simmons can shoot.
No, he can't. No,
that's not the standard.
That's not true.
Like, Chill. I'm okay. I'm okay with the quick switch.
Airball to Florida.
If you got to switch real quick and Giannis shoot, you're guarding, whatever. But I don't want that. Like, that's one of those like 3 or 4 second switches. Let's get back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want Giannis guarding him.
You don't. But where was the help?
Somebody's supposed to help. Exactly. That was KPJ. Right, that was KPJ that just did one of these instead of moving your body.
You gotta step over, bro.
You gotta move your body.
Giannis need KPJ to help rim protect.
He don't need the rim protect, but he needed some help on the drive. Like, that's just basketball.
I'm trying to figure out Mars. Did he anchor the defense at the rim in the series?
No.
If he can't protect in space. So what did he do well?
Score.
No, I think in this game, last night's game, I actually think he was quite good.
Why are we disrespecting Giannis like that?
I just think in overtime.
It's a agenda with this one down
here. Because these two right here are the loudest people on this platform about this two-way nonsense. These two.
Two-way nonsense. You got to invert your points. Swappy, you got to invert your points.
Two-way nonsense? What are you talking about?
You're pointing in the direction it's shown on your screen, but on the stream, you're pointing in the opposite direction.
So
that's okay.
There you go. That's
okay. There we go. I was like, damn.
I had to see myself.
Do that again, Swipe.
Los, he's been watching our content.
Who you pointing at?
No.
All right. But
I just seen defensive reputation's a hell of a thing, man.
But I'll say this about Hallie. I think he's rated right where he needs to be. He's on that fringe line. Like people give Hallie a lot of love, but people also give Hallie a lot of hate. And his game, the way he plays a herky-jerky style, he was a little inconsistent to start the year off too. So a lot of people don't like his game, like the way his game looks. And when you take a poll like that and his NBA players, they look at that shit like, man, that shit food. That shit not real. Like when he hit you with the fucking, when he doing all that extra shit, bro, look like he like, you feel me? So I think all in all, he's definitely a top 7 point guard in the league, in my opinion. The fact he's averaging damn near 20 and 10 this series was extremely impressive. And I think the thing about Haliburton is the fact that, like Chill mentioned, he's shooting less jumpers, less of them step back jumpers. And last night he was getting to the rack at will. So he was getting to the rack. And I don't know if that's on Giannis. I don't know if that's on Brook. I don't know who that's on, but he was getting to that rack.
You can't blame Brook. He was a player.
He wasn't in the game.
I was told Brook was the problem. You can't blame Brook.
He was getting to the rim on Giannis, but shout out to Tyrese.
He was too.
But shout out to Tyrese was hella aggressive, but he wasn't more aggressive. He wasn't more aggressive than his daddy.
The work he looking for, that work he looking for. Oh, he gonna get it.
It's so funny to me, Chill, that a perpetual all NBA player, all NBA caliber player has to defend him, not defend himself, but I think he has to defending in so many like narratives about him. And I'm just like, he's actually so good. But just for whatever reason, it's just
You
people
know what
just.
you've done to Jason Tatum for the last year.
No. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. No. First off, no. That started because me and Chill about LeBron
And that's a perennial All NBA first team player.
And
by the way,
my whole argument, he wasn't better than LeBron last year. No.
First team All Pro.
That was never the conversation about was he better than LeBron. And I took the LeBron side, which is where all this came from. So I don't hear it. Yep, shut up. He's been amazing this year. He's been one of the 4 best players in the playoffs so far. So I can't wait to talk about Tatum. He's been incredible.
And before we get there, because we have 3 other games that were played last night, and we're going to get into all 3 of them. Before we do that, this is a good time to tell everybody to like the video and salute to everybody that is in here. Make sure you turn on your notification bells. Make sure you subscribe and become a member as well. Salute to you guys and salute to Stoner Sports for coming up here, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through.
Sure, we appreciate y'all.
Hey, we love this. We love this, man. Y'all such a good crew, man. So we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, where can the people find you guys at?
Man, you can check us out everywhere, man. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You can check out my Twitter, J_3Shifty. But on TikTok, Instagram,
360.
I said no. My Twitter is J_3 and then Shifty, SHIFTY.
That Shifty. Hey, Ron, you hear that Shifty?
You got that work on the court.
You got that work that has he crawling.
Hey, I'm be honest on I ain't playing on defense. All offense.
Yeah, check us out, Stoner Sports Network on TikTok, on Instagram. We dropping videos every day.
Yo, the one video that I do gotta mention right quick is that Morgan Reckley video.
Oh man,
she is so nice.
She said,
hey,
that's one of the coldest high school highlight compilations.
Yeah.
Freshman, she a freshman, bro.
Yo, so nice.
She got like 20 offers. Like she's one of the coldest. So I'm happy that you brought that up so we could talk about her for a quick second. Like that girl, she's gonna be a superstar. Freshman in high school, Morgan Reckley. She's gonna be about 4 years. Gonna be one of them ones we're gonna be looking
That's
at.
Her name? Morgan Reckley. That's her
name.
Morgan
Reckley.
Where's she from?
She's from Georgia.
Okay.
Well, I'll watch this video back 4 times back to, and it's not no short video either.
Yeah,
it's probably like a minute and 30.
It's 3 minutes.
It was originally 3 hours of content.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I had a bunch of.
You got that much work?
Yeah, like you got a lot of work, man. It's been So
how big is she?
She 5'7" right now, little point guard, crazy.
How old?
She's 14.
15.
She just turned 15. She got.
She gets about 5. I'm looking at her highlights. She gets about 5'10", 5'11", bro.
She averaged like 37 and 7 this year. Averaged 5 steals a game.
He just made up them stats, but it's cool. Her stats was really good.
Something like that, bro. She crazy.
It was like 26.
Hey, when you watch the highlight, it feel like that.
It feel like that.
Literally just made.
You said 26. 26 and 30 is not that far.
Yeah. You right.
Hey, I believe you, Lowe's. 37
Ooh,
26 and 30
little Euro too.
26 and 30 26 and 30 are not the same because when my man averaging 26 a game, when I say he averaging almost 30, all I get is he ain't averaging 30.
He 2 layups from 30.
That's all I hear.
Well, that's because you said he shot 50% from the field through the run last year.
Who we talking about?
I did not say that. Swipe.
Talking about Tatum.
I did not say that. No.
You had 12%.
Anyway,
Tatum overrated. Tatum overrated.
We about to get to Tatum here in a second.
Shout out Morgan Reckley, finishing both hands.
Before we get to Tatum, though, Swiper brought up Ty Jerome, but he actually didn't win Rookie of the Year this year. Stephon Castle has been announced Rookie of the Year this year. Thoughts and feelings about this?
Shout out
Time to trade him.
Right there.
Predictable. Yeah, predictable. Thought he would win after a while, but he's a really good player this year.
Was he another one like you talked about, Miles, a couple of days ago when we talked about Evan Mobley? Was he another beneficiary of circumstance? So if Wells doesn't get hurt, is Wells
if Jared McCain doesn't get hurt?
Jared McCain. That's what I mean.
Jared McCain.
Wells and Jared McCain. These are the guys that I'm thinking about. Jared McCain, Wells. If they don't get hurt, is Castle still the Rookie of the Year? Because I thought Jared McCain was running away with it. To be quite honest,
he was. I don't think that's why he was a beneficiary. He was a beneficiary of circumstance because Wemby went on. He was one more.
I would still voted Stephon Castle. I would have still voted Stephon Castle.
Over who?
I'm not saying again, and this is not me saying because Stephon Castle is nice. He's super nice. Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying regardless of the situation, based on this season. I mean, you got to think the last half of the season after All-Star break, bro, averaged like 17, 5 and 5, couple steals. Like he had a great season, especially with all of the players they got on that team. There's a lot of rock that has to go around on that team.
So for him to play good, he was efficient this year. Expectations were higher at the beginning of the season, of course. But I think he came in. I think he really showed out. Jeremy McCain would say he would have stayed at that pace. I mean, the way the Sixers were playing during that time, it just was what it was. It wasn't great basketball. The Spurs were actually trying to play
great basketball either.
Jared McCain would have won Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he was
Jared McCain would have won a unanimous.
He was running away with it. He was putting up crazy numbers.
But he would have got all-star votes at that if he would have kept doing that.
All-star votes.
He was averaging. Remember, he was averaging 28 over that stretch. It was like
he was doing what Grimes was doing.
Bro, it was wild. Now, I don't know if that was sustainable. He probably would have came.
It wasn't sustainable, but it was cool while it was happening,
right.
And he definitely was going to be the All-Star.
He was great.
Not All-Star, the Rookie of the Year. But that's why he was a beneficiary, but not because like.
But Castle's nice.
And also Zachary Richelet took a minute to catch on. Like, but once he did, I think he was in the running for Rookie of the Year.
I don't want to hear
I still voted Jalen Wells.
Related. I don't want to hear nothing Richelet related.
He was really good down the stretch.
We in Atlanta. I've seen Richelet in person many a time. I am not a fan of Richelet. He's not aggressive enough for me.
He's starting next to Okongwu, K, and DeAndre Hunter was gone. Karras coming off the bench. They had Dyson Daniels wasn't doing nothing on offense, and then Trae Young was,
that's just not true.
Respect Dyson Daniels play too.
Yes.
No.
And respect when Trae Young went to the bench and they moved Dyson Daniels to the league guard. Respect that, please. That was working.
Yeah, but it's time to trade Stephon Castle, man. That's what it is.
Trade Castle?
With trade him in Houston, laws? Trade him in Houston?
What you want back? What would you want back?
Trolling.
Mars, I like that, Mars. What would you want back?
A star in some capacity to put next to Wemby. If Stephon Castle was like, I don't know, maybe
you want
that's
like a point guard or you want like a wing?
You mean
like either or? If that's part of the KD trade package, if that's part of the Devin Booker trade package, something.
You mean trade him? How about trading him to Milwaukee for Giannis, Mars? How about that?
If that's on the table.
Okay, so
that's sick. That would be sick to have a Giannis Wemby front court.
Yeah, if that's on the table, yeah.
I think
time to trade him.
I think Jaren Jackson is more likely to be in San Antonio than Giannis.
I would trade Stephon Castle for Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, I think he's more likely, but
I would like to trade Sohan and Devin Vassell in that situation and keep Stephon, but whatever.
I just think that we live in a time. Swiper talked for 10 minutes about this earlier in the show. Yo, guys, these super teams are over. The CBA is not going to allow it anymore.
But right now, Wemby's on that rookie deal.
That's why I'm trying to get a max contract now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can afford a max contract. So it doesn't make so I would take KD if he's available. Devin Booker, Giannis, obviously. Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, 2 more years still. Yeah, 2 more cheap years.
But like it makes sense to add a max contract when you have Wemby on a rookie deal. And he's already a top.
Exactly. It's like the NFL when they stack these teams because the quarterbacks are still on
like the Broncos this year.
Yeah, so that's why like it's not about rushing the process to get Wemby in championship contention. It's about understanding how the CBA works and knowing that it's going to be much harder to acquire a superstar when Wemby's on his max extension. Much easier to do it when Wemby's on his rookie contract making $13 million, whatever he makes.
How good do you think Castle can be?
Like, y'all got any player comps as far as the floor and the ceiling?
He kind of gives me Ox. What's the dude that played in Sacramento that won Rookie of the Year? He kind of give me his that.
Tyreek Evans.
Tyreek.
Yeah, he kind of give me.
He don't got the wiggle. He
not offensively good enough.
Castle don't got no wiggle. It's crazy, but he don't got.
I said like Tyreek.
Tyreek is a fact, but he definitely got.
Yeah, he got currently in the league right now.
He got one of the best deceleration steps in the league.
Yeah, Stephon Castle about to be the truth.
Tough.
He gets to the rim at
They
will.
talking Kawhi.
I don't know about Tyreek.
And we seen his jumper develop in just the year. Remember
Drew
last
Holiday's
year,
a good one.
The knock on him was he couldn't shoot.
Still got a ways to go.
I like Drew Holiday, but I like a better offense, a bigger, more athletic, and a better offensive version of Drew Holiday.
Bigger? Wow.
He's bigger. Yeah, he's 6'7". Yeah, he's bigger.
That's what I'm saying. I like a bigger
offense though.
I don't think he's good enough offensively for these comps you're giving him, but
he's just a rookie. What he showed me this year in his rookie year, I have no reason to believe that he's not going to get better.
He can get better, but it doesn't mean Drew Holiday.
I think Drew Holiday's a floor for if we keeping it a buck. Like offensive, I think he's going to be better than Drew offensively. Defensively, he might not be as good as Drew, but he's very good defensively too. But defensively, he might not be Drew, but offensively, I think he got Drew.
I think we should keep Stephon Castle out of Drew Holiday conversations for right now.
Drew is nice at offense.
I'll second that.
Let's not do that right now.
You guys are making it seem like Drew Holiday an offensive juggernaut or something.
I didn't say that. Drew Holiday does so much more on the basketball court than just play offensive.
I don't know. I'm not.
He's the ultimate basketball player around. So that's what I'm saying.
Remember, he was a consistent night.
You got to have supreme intangibles and things like that to be in Drew Holiday conversations. And we don't know if
Stephon Castle. I see that in him.
Well, he's not the playmaker Drew was to start his career or passer.
Playmaker that Drew Holiday is, but he
might not be the playmaker, but in terms of scoring and in terms.
But Drew was like a 25-5 or 19-5 player with New Orleans.
Drew
and
could
really
shoot.
efficient. Like he was a different kind of lead guard.
21-5-8 is best year.
Yeah, I'm not as high on the offensive upside of Stephon Castle. I like his defense, particularly in isolation. I think his physical tools are really good. He become better as a screen navigator and stuff. I do think there's like all defensive guard level upside.
Yeah.
That's cool. I do think he's actually a solid passer. Decision makers a bit, but like he can make some nice reads.
A 6'6" shooting guard that can defend like that is.
I'm not as high on the offense. I'll say that I'm not as high on the offense.
Well, real quick while we're here,
and we seen him.
It's not off topic, but Alex Sarr. What y'all think about Sarr?
I'm higher on him than Stephon Castle.
Wow.
Sarr has potential. Yo, he finished the year.
Any of you? I'm in the minority. I think he's going to be. I think he could be Rudy Gobert good as a defender. I think he could be that good.
I'm not that high on him.
Rudy Gobert.
I'm a big time Alex.
For me, Alex Sarr's ceiling to me is Jaren Jackson Jr. That's where I'm at. Which I think is a good ceiling, but that's not
a bad ceiling.
Best case scenario. I think he's Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. Thermal Swift.
I love that kid.
More athletic, Jaren.
Hey, shout out to Stromae.
I love that kid.
Dog.
He ain't like that. I mean, I'm not saying he can't be better than Stromae. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying like Stromae.
That was a goon. He was a goon. That was a goon.
Stromae used to bang on dudes so crazy.
Yeah, he did.
He got one of the craziest dunk mixtapes ever, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
Ox, he was disrespectful as a dunker. Like you got to tell him like, don't do that again, yo. That's foul.
Yeah, it's one thing to go dunk and like cock the ball back like this. It's another thing to the whole body back. You touching like your lower back with the ball.
Throwing guys through the rim.
Like, yo,
throwing
relax,
guys
bro.
through the rim. Like, chill out, man. You too wild right now.
Yeah, we ain't, matter of fact, the only dunker like that in the league right now is probably DJJ, honestly. Like that can like back scratchers like that because that area was crazy, bro.
Yeah, it still just don't look the same just because of the size, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he was skinny and lanky, so it looked
low. And as soon as he took off, bro, it was a wrap, dog. Man, what an era, bro.
And while we still here, I do want to say I was kind of impressed with Zach Edey this year and how he contributed. I didn't expect, and I know no one really talks about Zach Edey, but I just want to throw him out there real quick because he had a really, really good year in my opinion. For what we expected of him, so I'm just gonna throw.
I had picked.
That's what we expected of him, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys did. Yeah. I picked him. I wasn't a believer in this translating, but he was way better than I thought he would be, particularly defensively.
Yeah,
I think he was better defensively than I thought and worse offensively than I thought.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair because I thought he was going to be a little bit more productive on the offensive end, but defensively he was moving his feet really well this year. I'll give him that.
Right. And he protected way better.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he actually. What you said, bro? I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
I said on the Grizzlies, where is he really going to get offensive opportunities though? Like with Ja, Dane, and Jaren Jackson, like it's not like they're going to.
So you think he got more to offer on the offensive end? Me? He says he got the opportunity. Yeah.
I mean, he made some threes this year. Like
he did make a couple.
I'm not trying to get him out there shooting threes, but anybody that big can duck in the paint and get easy buckets more than he.
He has great hands too. He has great hands.
And we got to
the problem with that. The problem with that is. For the rest of his, well, at least for the next couple seasons, every time you say what you just said, bro, they're gonna talk about, oh, he didn't do it against the Warriors. He wasn't posting up Steph Curry, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though he did do that game, but the couple times he didn't, or the couple times it didn't work out, they're gonna highlight that. Zach Edey came into the league getting the short end of the stick, and honestly, I think he was a little better on defense than even I thought he was going to be because everybody made it seem like he was going to be running in quicksand or like moving. You can see it back when he was in college. The kid can move fine. He's just big, so
he's coordinated for his like size and build. Very coordinated.
Right.
I think he'll have a good career.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that pick and roll was going to be the death of him, and it just wasn't. Like he was able to just move his feet, still get out there for late contests. I watched quite a few Grizzly games this year. I was impressed with Zach Edey, so I just wanted to show him some love real quick.
First of
And
all,
like,
he's
when you're
number
an
one.
college player, people give you like a negative, rap already when you come into the league and you stay
Exactly.
for a long time. They're like, oh, you ain't got nothing to offer.
Number one, he's huge. Like he dwarfs.
Huge.
He dwarfs
Steven Adams.
not just Steven Adams, but Chet. Like Chet looks significantly smaller than him.
He does.
I'm watching Chet up against him. I'm like, he's significantly smaller than him. I thought he was going to be the rookie of the year. I dug how he could rebound and run the floor and speed up their offense, and I felt like he did that. I don't think you dudes give because I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about like where's the offense going to come from in the touches. I don't think you give Ja enough credit as the playmaker and distributor that he is. And I think Ja did a good job in getting them involved in the offense. There were times when he was fumbling the ball, and I think that has a lot to do with him being new. Like I just got the job. So
Scottie Pippen was got a lot of looks too.
Yes. So I think once he gets more acclimated to the pro game, I think he's going to be just fine. Now, injuries are the biggest issue when you got guys that big, right? You got guys that big who move like he does. Hopefully he can avoid that for as long as possible, but I think he'll be just fine. I do.
And I think that's the beauty of a player staying 4 years in school is that you show that he can stay healthy. It shows
Not
you
today.
that he can't.
Not today. If you ain't 19 coming into the NBA, you 22, get out of here. Nah.
That's fair. All right, but yeah, shout out Zach Edey, man.
And
All right, fellas.
Like the NBA season.
We're going to move on to the next series. And there was another team that has advanced to the second round. This is the Boston Celtics. And, well, the Magic were having a pretty good first half. Second half rolls around. Paolo picks up 2 quick fouls. He hits the bench with 5 fouls. And the Celtics basically just unloaded on these dudes. They went on a 30-9 run and basically just kicked the doors open in the third quarter. And after that, it was just too much for the Magic to come back. And Jayson Tatum, well, overrated or not, he got busy last night.
Yes, sir. Third time, tied with Larry Bird for the most 30-10 games in Boston Celtic history. I thought that he did a great job. I accept who Jayson Tatum is as a scorer. He's not gonna consistently get downhill. He's gonna settle for jump shots. He's gonna settle for threes. And I know that about him. But when he does get to the rim, when he does get to the mid-range, he's going to be great. He's going to be awesome when he does do that. When he mismatch hunts, he's going to be awesome. And I think that watching him go after Wendell Carter like he did, I thought that was a thing of beauty. I have to give Jayson Tatum more credit for evolving and not settling. Now, don't get me wrong. He will settle for jump shots a lot of times, but there are times when he won't. And I think that he did that playing against Wendell Carter, going after him, getting downhill, getting to the rim against him. I just think that this Boston Celtic team got punched in the face in game 3. That's what happened. They got punched in the face. They weren't prepared for the fight. And once they brought the fight back to Orlando, now you guys have to play basketball. We already figured you out offensively, and we know that we can leave France open at the long ball line. We make France a jump shooter, even though France went after KP as much as he did, but we make France a jump shooter. And now we can neutralize you guys because your best offensive player and your best scorer is on the bench in Paolo. So now, I mean, that's when they pour it on for them. So this series should have been over on Sunday, but the fact that they had to play an extra game, all right, whatever. No big deal.
I've never seen a superstar with so much damn help. There's no pressure on Jayson Tatum any night he goes up.
You didn't see the 2017 Warriors?
Give me a break, man. What are we doing, yo?
You didn't see Steph play Draymond and Kevin Durant?
Are you kidding me?
I want to let y'all know respectfully, those 2 championships, they're out of my mind. I don't even consider those. Those are lost years in the NBA. Those are lost years in the NBA for me. I don't even really think about those times.
Was last year a lost year too because the Celtics won?
Nah, I'm gonna give him credit. I'm not gonna sit here and take away the Celtics championship as a whole. Bro, Jayson Tatum goes out there with no pressure every night. There's somebody on his team that can carry the load at any given night.
What happens when they don't do it? What happens when they don't do it?
They do. There's somebody to carry the load every night, bro. To Peyton Pritchard, whether it's Jaylen Brown, Kristaps, Derek White.
But Los, look though. Okay. 3 seasons ago, KP was a bum. Drew Holiday come over there. Oh, Drew Holiday is not that great. Jaylen Brown can't go left. Al Horford's old. Al Horford.
And Jaylen Brown still can't go left.
Al Horford's old and washed up. Derek White was just a throwaway from the Spurs. These were all the narratives going into last 100%. Season. Now all of a sudden it's a super team. I think this is just a group of guys that form a very good basketball team.
I agree.
If these guys weren't all together, I don't think we would look at it that way because people were trying to convince me that KP, Al Horford, Drew, Jaylen were all no good.
Well, they were objectively wrong about that, though.
I agree with you.
But it was like everybody swiping like 70.
But KP was a near all-star last year in Washington. He was like very good.
So KP,
I agree with you though that the narrative.
The Thunder just swept the Grizzlies and chased up.
I agree with you 100%. I really do. My thing is, my sole point is, Jayson Tatum gets way too much credit. That's my point. He just gets.
He's been playing great.
The segment started with him getting discredited.
I think he's getting. I just think he gets way too much credit, bro.
Don't you think he had a great series though against Orlando?
I don't think this is the series to say that he's personally. I don't think this is the series to say that he's getting credit he doesn't deserve. He was spectacular the last 3 games of this series.
Wonderful. It's the fucking Orlando Magic. Like, who cares?
But if they would have beat them, then you would be telling us, well, if he choked. But the fact that he's getting busy against Orlando, it's the Orlando Magic.
When he plays good, he doesn't get credit. And then
that's what I'm saying. So it's the same. It's a double-edged sword with you. So if he doesn't get busy against Orlando, he's whack as hell. But if he gets busy against Orlando sucks. If he serves Cleveland or if he serves Indiana, it's the Indiana Pacers. They swept them last year.
So do you feel that SGA's MVP he's going to win is unwarranted then because he's getting largely like carried by an elite roster all the way around, and that's the same kind of logic?
My vote, and Jalen can attest to this, I've been saying Jokic should be the MVP for the last few months. So I don't think SGA deserves it anyway. So
no, but that's Shea getting too much credit. So Shea's getting too much credit.
No, Shea's not. There's. Let me see. Okay. Jayson Tatum has been playing with this elite roster for the last 3-4 seasons. He's been playing with some elite players. He didn't even win Finals MVP this past season.
They've had Drew and Porzingis.
To his point, I think
you got a championship level point guard and an all-star level power forward with the all-star level, all NBA levels too.
For 2 years. Yeah, he's had that for 2 years.
I don't think
Tatum's had that last year and this year. 2 years.
But you also said that Giannis his great numbers are not leading to winning. So I guess which is it? Is it like the player? So is the player overrated, like in no matter what, if they're losing, even their numbers are great, and then if they're playing very well and their team is really good, like are they just always overrated? Like the two things have to match up all the time. Like how do you qualify for like being good enough then?
I look at it as performance matched up with expectation. Okay. So
what do you expect from Tatum?
What I expect Tatum. I don't expect nothing. I expect Tatum to go out there and hoop because that's what he's been doing. That's what he can.
But do you expect him to be like in the best in the world conversation?
No.
Well, then, what do you expect him? Do you think he was a first team All NBA player this year?
Huh?
Do you think he was good enough to make first team All NBA this year, like a top 10 player in the league and a top 5 player in the regular season?
I'll say top 10. I won't say top 5.
So he's an All NBA player, not going to win MVP, not going to get any MVP vote for first, second, and third, more than likely.
But everybody gives him credit like he should be in the MVP conversation every year, and I don't agree with that. Like
he should be in the conversation this year and last year.
Why?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't agree with that, but like I don't think you can name 5 people.
This kind of proves my point. There's always this inconsistency with how we view Tatum. And he's great. Tatum is a great basketball player. I'm not taking that away from him. What I'm saying is, and when you talk about superstars and the level of pressure that you have to bring it every single night, and Jayson Tatum is not under that same pressure. He doesn't have to bring it every single night.
Well, number one, I play for the Boston Celtics. That's number one. I don't play in Minnesota. I don't play for the Portland Trailblazers. I play for the Boston Celtics. That's number one. Number two, we're the world champs. Number three, I lead the team in scoring. I lead the team in rebounding. I lead the team in assists. I do that every night.
And it obviously did not matter. It did not matter.
How? Oh, because they didn't get the first seed. They didn't get the first seed. No.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about in terms of last year championship run. He
They
led
won
on
the
all those
championship.
categories.
They won the championship going away. They lost 3 games.
And what I'm saying to you is,
And that was not. And he had a lot to do with
He
that.
was not viewed as the best player in that series. He led in all categories across the board.
Yeah, it was stupid. He wasn't viewed as the best player.
Right.
But also moments. Jaylen Brown just happened to make more like closing shots than he did. So like they gave him the moments. But I guess that's what I'm saying. That's why this whole thing with Chill over the last year, while it's been fun, it's also been, I think, not it's been fun. You know, obviously interacting with Chill, one of my favorite things, my bestie. But I think if we're having real hoops conversation, I didn't think he was better than Braun last year. But I think Tatum far and away been one of the 5 best players in the sport this year. I think he's had
that's not
so
the
far.
point he's making though.
This
you
is
you guys are taking this as him slandering Jayson Tatum.
Well, he said I won't say he's top
help.
5. He said I won't say he's top 5. He did say
Yeah,
that.
he
That's
has
why I'm
help.
saying he thinks he's top 5.
And then he's having his best playoff series. This is his best playoff series since the semifinals in 2022.
So what happens?
So like I'm trying to understand like,
and I don't want to go overboard. And I'm gonna ask this question to you guys because I know as basketball players, and I've said this to you already. I don't think that he's as good as Joker, right? I don't think he's that good. I also don't think I don't think he's as good as Joker. I also don't think he's as good as Giannis neither. However, if he continues, I'm not talking about 37-12. I'm talking about if he continues to play as well as he's playing in these playoffs and they win it again, and he's the finals MVP, like you said he wasn't last year, how are we talking about this dude at the end of the season? Is he now in best in the world conversations?
Not to me, but
the best in the world.
That's what I think. I don't based in his, and again, it's his blessing and his curse. He's on a great team with great players. It's a great situation to be in. But at the same time, you're not going to get as much credit for the accolades and the team achievements.
But it seems like that only happens to him though. Like it doesn't happen to everybody when
that's my point right there though.
Because what
you just said right there.
95% of the time, a superstar level player to his talent level does not have that much help.
You can't just say that.
Keep saying
Magic Johnson is one of the best players of all time, and
Magic Johnson is a great example.
Hall of Fame talent around him. All the time that he won, and nobody looks at Magic Johnson and says you're any less of a great point guard, you're any less of a Hall of Fame player or wherever you have Magic Johnson. But when we look at Tatum and you got great players and you win, now it's you're not as good because you got great players. You can't just not give him credit if he plays good. Now if he plays bad, then yeah, you can ridicule him. But if he plays good, you can't be like the rest of your teammates is good. So what you just did don't count.
I think that's my thing, bro. It's like Jayson Tatum doesn't really. There's no opportunities for him to really get ridiculed because they're still winning. Whether he plays bad or not, they still have a great chance of winning.
What team are we? He didn't play all that great this whole series too.
But the last 3 games have been really good,
and we've seen that with plenty of guys.
Last night he went crazy, but for a majority of this series, Paulo Banchero outplayed Jayson Tatum.
Thank you.
The last 3 games of the series?
A majority of the series, Paulo Banchero outplayed Jayson Tatum. Last night, Paulo had 1 bad game, and it was a closeout game. He had 1 bad game, and a lot of that was due to him having to sit on the bench for a majority of the third quarter. But he had 1 bad game, and Jayson Tatum outplayed him.
What you're really saying is Paulo played better than Jayson Tatum in game 1.
That's all you're saying. Because in game
set up to play, Jayson Tatum didn't play in game 2. In game 3, 4, and 5, Jayson Tatum was the best player on the floor.
Clearly, the best player on the floor in game 3, game 4,
and in one of those games, Franz outplayed Paulo. So what you're saying is Paulo played better than Jayson Tatum in game 1.
Magic has one option. It's go through Paulo. They have one option. Like they don't.
They got
that's what you said, but you dressed it up as Paulo is playing better than Jayson Tatum in the series before these last couple games. They only played in the same game once.
What I'm trying to
make they don't have to. I said the majority of the series. I didn't say head to head.
What I'm trying to make sense.
Last night, Jayson Tatum played better than Paulo. In game 4, who played better?
For the series, Paulo was better.
Ron, if you gotta think about it, because you were just definitively telling me that he played better than him throughout the course of the series, and he played
better. Ron. In game 4, who played better?
Yes.
Hold on, let me look at it.
No,
Y'all
you
are
don't need to look
proving
at
my
anything,
point.
Ron.
Y'all are
You
proving
don't.
my
You
point.
don't need to look at
Look,
anything.
the answer is
Jayson
obvious.
Tatum
It's
played.
Jayson Tatum,
No,
but
Jayson
amazing.
Tatum
I'm
played
waiting
better
for
than
Ron
him.
to answer.
Tatum was
We
amazing.
just
The
asked
last
the question.
3 games.
If you
He was
ask me the
amazing.
question, who played better? Jayson Tatum played better than Paolo.
yeah,
I,
so
I think game
three
1, 2,
and game
and
four,
3.
Game
1,
2,
2,
Tatum
and
didn't
3.
play.
Tatum
He
didn't play,
didn't
Ron.
have to play. I'm
Yeah,
not.
he's
I'm
not
not
playing better than Tatum if Tatum's not playing.
Paulo played. Did Paulo play in the series?
Yes.
He played 5 games in the series.
Yes.
He got busy 4 games in the series.
And Jayson
Just
Tatum
because
played better
Jayson
than him
Tatum
in 3
wasn't
of his
there,
4 games.
just because Jayson
That's a
Tatum wasn't
fact.
there doesn't take away from the fact
When
that
you say
Paulo
the
got
word
busy.
majority
He got
is
busy
more
for
than
4
half.
out of the 5
If
games.
That would have to be
He
3
did get
games.
busy.
That would have to be
Jason
3
He got
games.
busy for
get
4 out of the
busy.
5
And you
games.
can
He
get
is.
Ron, you can get busy.
Look,
And
by
Ron,
his
you can get
standards,
busy.
wasn't
4
there.
out of 5 is better than 3 out of 5.
No, but
Okay,
hold on.
no,
Wait,
that's not what
wait,
he's
chill.
saying.
But chill. If Tatum played 4 games,
I didn't say head
and
to
then he said
head.
a
I said he
majority,
played better than
this
him
is
a
not a
majority
majority.
of
It would have to
series.
be 3
But
games.
in
So you
what
think
part is
Paulo
3 out of 5
outplayed
not
him
the
for 3
majority?
games?
Which he did
Okay,
not.
look, I'm gonna leave
He
my
played
point
in 4
here.
games.
I'm gonna leave my point here
Jayson
with this.
Tatum played better
Okay.
in 3 games. Paulo played better in
I
technically
don't
2
think
games.
he played better in 3 games.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
think he
in
played
game
better
4, who
last
in game
night.
4 who played
Last
better?
night, Ron, who played better last night, Ron?
Jason Tatum. It was without a doubt.
Okay, in game 4, who played better,
It just
Ron?
depends on the logic.
That was Sunday. That was
Exactly,
Sunday.
Jalen.
Who played better?
You can logically frame this either way.
Ron
But
doesn't-
like,
okay,
I
whatever.
suppose-
Yeah,
suppose-
games
yeah.
that Tatum played, he played better. But overall, if you're saying like Tatum missed the game and then game 1, then you could say Paulo played better.
Yeah, in
Well,
game 1 and game
Jason
2,
played.
sure, Paulo, whatever. Game
Last
1,
3 games,
JT played better in game
Jason Tatum
4.
didn't play, sure. Game
Jay-
3, 4, and 5, Tatum was the best player on the court in every
J-
single game.
Yeah.
JT played better in game 4 for sure.
And 3.
And, like,
In
Tatum-
game 3, Franz was better than Paulo.
Yeah, he did better.
It's the same France,
Last 3
Ron.
games,
This
Tatum
the
was the
same
best
France
player.
that they was go. This the same France.
Yeah, so
that they
your
was going
majority
to.
stuff is just yap.
It is
wasn't.
100%.
Just
yeah,
saying
Ron,
game
because-
1 and 2, Paulo was the best player in the series.
because they went to him in the meat and potatoes of the game. They did not go to Paulo in the meat and potatoes of the game.
Wasn't
Paulo
it?
didn't come up
Jason
with
Tatum
big
was the best
rebounds.
player in the court the last 3 games of the series.
37
Okay.
and 37 and 12, Ron. What we doing, man? Three of these 4 games. What's happening right now, Ron?
Yeah, hey, be that as it may, Paulo Banchero was busting his ass.
Okay.
Be that as it may.
Yeah, Paulo played really
my
good in the
question
playoffs.
to Los,
That should be
because
it.
Los
Go ahead,
talks
Chill.
about-
Go ahead, Chill.
Los
Yeah,
talks
Paulo
about-
was
Los
great,
talks
and then it
about-
turned into he was better than Tatum for no reason. Like he wasn't.
because Los talks about the help. Los, over the last 10 years, like the teams that you've seen, what teams have been basically just a one-man gang? Because you talk about the amount of help.
No, and
that
I
guys
don't
have.
mean a one-man gang. And I think that's what y'all missing here. He has multiple all NBA caliber players on one team in 2025. Based on the aprons, based on the CBA, based on all that stuff.
Who's the
That is-
all NBA caliber players?
Well, not
No.
this year, Jaylen Brown. Last year, Jaylen Brown. Last year, Jaylen Brown.
Okay,
Last year.
I'll
No,
give you
this
Jaylen
year,
Brown.
who are the multiple all NBA caliber players?
This season into 24-25 season.
This season,
Because I'm 100% confident. I'm 100% confident that in 2016, 2017, there were four all NBA guys on that crew. 4 of them.
told you I don't remember those 2 years. I
Who
don't
are the all
remember them
NBA
using
caliber
KD.
players on the Celtics this year?
Okay, I'm saying caliber. They are good enough to be all NBA talents. Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis.
No way. Kristaps
Not
Porzingis has
tripping.
never been in. Kristaps Porzingis has never
Derek
been
White
in
is
all-pro
all NBA
Never.
caliber.
You could have.
I said
I think
caliber.
all-star.
They-
You could have said borderline all-star.
All-star,
That would have
Los,
fit.
I can get
Borderline
one.
all-star would
I'm
have fit.
getting.
Or better.
I'll give you. I'll give you the law.
All
I'll give you
the
I'll wear
the
games
that.
like
I'll
top
wear that.
15,
I'll wear that.
you know,
I'll wear
that's
that.
a-
That's me. I'll wear that.
Okay,
Thank you,
all
Ron.
right.
Thank
So
you. I'll wear that.
all-star.
I'll wear that.
Borderline
You got
all-star.
all-star.
We
you
can
got
reel
all-star.
that in.
Top
Okay.
35-ish players. There we go.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
they
OKC
have
got
4.
3 as
They
well.
have 5 of them.
They do.
5 who's
What other team has 5 of those?
5.
Five.
He's saying Drew Holiday was also once an all-star. So.
Five
once an
borderline
all-star,
all-stars.
okay.
Well, he was in 2022-23. He was an
Yeah,
all-star.
yeah.
So
That Drew Holiday has
so-
not appeared for the Boston Celtics.
I don't know. I see him close games this year.
So if I'm not mistaken,
Drew Holiday is not all-star caliber.
Go ahead, Chill. Go ahead, Chill.
not this season. So
Here
this
we go.
season you got Shea. Not only do you have Shea, you got Chet, who's an all-star caliber player. You got J-Dub, who's an all-star caliber player.
He
You
did
got an
make
all.
it, too.
You got. I'm sorry, he did make the all-star team. I'll take
Mhm.
that back. You got an all-league defender in Lou Dort. Is that if
Caruso.
I'm not mistaken, right? You got an
Yeah.
all-league defender in Caruso. So you got all. You
J-Dub.
don't have potential all-stars. You got potential all-pros on this crew. So when you talk about the amount of help, I mean
That's
Jayson
true.
Tatum, and on top of that, Los, what we can't leave out.
And Shea was
the
bad
fact
bad in the first round this year.
By
Jayson
the
Tatum
way,
wasn't.
By the way, he was not very good.
Getting carried.
But we all like you saying all this, but the Celtics won the chip last year, so like they got over the ultimate.
Please don't leave that part out. That's very important.
Let's just say like these are championship players. These are a championship team that is coming back for another year. Like, yeah, they finished second because they didn't care about the regular season the same way they did.
Even though they won 60 games.
And they still won 60 games. And so, like, we have to talk about this team. Like, OKC is great, and those players have something to prove. The Celtics have proved it. That's the difference.
Which okay, but then with that same logic, then you can't say the Celtics last year with this all-time dominant team because they were saying that during the whole regular season when they hadn't won a championship yet.
I didn't say that.
They're in the same spot as Celtics last year, and the same spot OK season right now. But people were quick to say Jayson Tatum has all this help last year. So say the same thing about Shea. It's still the same. It's just a year behind.
And Los, I think you're leaving out. Los, I think you're leaving out the most important part here. Like the idea of him having this amount of help. I can get with that. I still got to do my job though. I still have to be. I still and with him having the amount of help he's having, he's still performing at an all-pro level. First team, by the way. He's still starting in all-star games.
And I agree.
He's still doing that.
I think the biggest premise that's been missed in what I'm saying is the level of pressure every night to have to go out there and perform at that 30-point, 35-point
Jokic just won a playoff
level.
game by like 20. And he had 13 points or whatever. He had 15.
That's nasty, Mars. It's the first time it's happened in years. By the way.
My point is, it wasn't. He says every night, I give you a night. Last night, Jokic ain't have to do it, and they won.
If you give Mars any breathing room, I promise you, he's gonna find.
I see that.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I'm saying. You get him breathing room. You got this. You have to say over a stretch, over a run, have multiple games where you can underperform and blah blah blah. Then that's where the
Curry just won a playoff game scoring 17.
He did
17 points. That just happened.
Yeah.
And there is no first and foremost.
SJ had in the teens in the first game that they won by 50. So you know,
SJ shot below 40% in 3 of his 4 playoff games.
100% confident.
Won all of them.
Mars, I'm 100% confident. I think it was game 3. Donovan Mitchell had what, 16?
They was about to lose like that one until
without Garland, and they still won.
They smoked Miami.
So who are these every night people?
No, they're not. There's not.
He lost.
So look,
we falling into this LeBron James.
So look. All of I love Jayson Tatum's game. I think he's really good.
It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it.
I honestly think he's super talented. I do. I just feel I would love to see Jayson Tatum play in a situation where he has to be a dog every night, where there is no.
But then you get slandered for not winning.
Facts.
If you do that, then you get slandered.
You're gonna get slandered either way.
And then to your point, you said Giannis. You said Giannis's numbers
empty stats.
Yeah, he just said they were empty stats because he's not winning. So I'm like, there's really no winning. It's like if you're too good.
Say they were empty stats. Don't do that. I didn't say it was empty. I said
you did say they were empty stats. He hasn't won a playoff game.
Situations though, we have. Before he got Porzingis and Drew Holiday and all that, like he had a team that was normal.
So what? So Los, what happens if Jayson Tatum? I don't know. Let's say Jayson Tatum is on the Trailblazers and they make the playoffs, and in the first round they lose, but he's 39, 13, and 7. How you feel about him?
Shit, he a dog. He carried the sorry ass Blazers to the playoffs.
Why would you prefer that over winning?
Because that's just how the hoop world works, bro.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. No, it doesn't.
So then why should Giannis want to leave the box?
Right, he should just stay there.
He should want to stay there and keep struggling to lose the first round.
And putting up numbers.
He shouldn't want to win a chip because he's not going to get credit if he goes to a good team. So he might as well just stay in Milwaukee, rot away and lose in round 1 every year. So people like you can say, "Oh, but he's having to carry every night."
The rules, bro. I don't make the rules. We did the same shit.
You did make that rule though. Like I don't.
Half the basketball world doesn't give KD credit for them chips. Half of the basketball world.
And they call him a loser for not winning since that point, though.
My point.
Facts. So basically,
there's no winning.
There's no winning.
Ain't no winners if you ain't.
People gonna find a way to complain regardless.
In Los's world,
well, look, I'll say this: if I had to be a loser, if I have to be a loser, I would rather be a loser the way Tatum's losing than lose the way that Giannis is losing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sign me up.
I guess.
Right. Because Tatum ain't losing.
If we the Eastern Conference Finals and we the finals every year and we lose,
but hey man, you got too much.
I got 330 M's. I'm gonna win 3 titles. I'm gonna have another contract on this for 400 M's.
Quick
You heard
question.
what I
'cause
said?
don't
It's
know.
a gift.
10 first team all NBAs.
Has Brook Lopez ever been an All-Star?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, he didn't. No, he missed it. He missed it.
Was
that
he
one
an
year.
All-Star?
That's
I
right.
thought he did it 1 year.
I think he missed. I
He
think he
might have
missed.
been
I think he
an
missed the
All-Star
20, the
Brooklyn.
21,
In
22 year.
Brooklyn, he wasn't.
He might have been like 2014. Let me check.
Yeah, because he led them scoring. He averaged 20 points a game.
I was
one
gonna
of those
mention
years.
Lopez.
He wasn't.
2013. I was close. 2013. Yeah.
13.
he was.
Yeah.
So
He
12 years.
he
ago.
was.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
Look at Mars. I know what he's talking about. I was right at first, and I was like,
Lopez
no,
was
Mark,
an
maybe Mark's
all-star,
right. No, but anyway,
Lopez was an all-star.
I'm 2-0 today,
Yeah,
by
he
the way.
was.
But
Giannis, this dude that we give so much credit for his championship, did he not have the same things that Tatum had when he had?
he benefited from more breaks than anybody. That KD, Harden, Kyrie, yeah.
Lopez, he had
Drew
all
Holiday,
these all-star
Chris
caliber
Middleton.
players, right? But we
Chris
give
Middleton carried him. Chris Middleton was Batman.
Yeah, he
Don't
won
forget.
games without him in the conference finals.
So why
But
does Giannis
Since you on
not
that
get
subject,
looked
since you
so
on that
negative?
subject, Los, don't forget he missed 2 games, and both
Oh,
and both Drew
Giannis.
Holiday and Chris
So,
Middleton went.
Why
got
Brook
big
Lopez had like
I'm all
36 in one of them
looked
games.
at
I
like
remember.
this,
Yes,
but
sir.
Tatum is looked at like this, and Tatum has had
Yes.
more success, and he hasn't. They had the same amount of good teammates by all-star talent that or all-star caliber players that we are talking about.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said,
Oh.
I want to restate my 2025 claim because I need to reclaim my time. All right, because I'm not gonna live in this thing anymore. The reason why I was going back and forth with Chill was over LeBron last year. I thought LeBron was better. That's it. And then Chill believed something. I believed something. Chill got a lot of emotion on TikTok. They wanted to believe him, even though he was wrong. I'm saying that I'm reclaiming Tatum was a top 5 player this year, and he's been spectacular this year in the playoffs. If he plays like this, they're probably not going to lose. It's that simple. He's playing exceptional right now, and I feel like that should be the end of the convo. It's like he's playing better than he did last year in the playoffs.
Okay, so why can't he win an MVP?
See,
Because
this
he's
is the
not
bullshit that I'm
Jokic, SGA,
Yeah, he's not as
Giannis,
good as-
like he's not those players. There's 3
Okay.
other players that are better.
See,
cool.
being okay.
Not
and
being the best in the world shouldn't
Right.
be a knock.
and this is
At
where-
that level, man.
This
You
is-
see, y'all
But Lo,
only
this-
say that he's not as good as them because he has this bomb squad.
No,
No, I just don't. I just don't think. he's
Proving
better
my
than-
point. Proving
Why?
I just don't think he's
I don't
better.
agree with that. I don't
than
agree with that. I don't
Jokic.
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I just
Like
don't
the-
think he's better than Jokic or Shea. I
Yeah,
don't
right,
think
Mars.
that's
So right, Mars, and the best
You
player in
just-
the NBA
you
wins
just
the
proved
league
my
MVP
point, bro.
every
You just
year.
literally proved my point.
The reason why he hasn't won the league
They shouldn't.
MVP yet. The reason why he hasn't won the league MVP yet.
It's because there are other players that are better.
We haven't. No, but you know what, Swiper, you're right, because the best player in the league wins the world.
No,
wins
SGA is
MVP
not the best
every
player in the
Okay,
league. He's the
there
winning
are other
championship.
players
Other
who play
players
better
have
during the
Okay,
regular season.
That's
There
the
you go.
point, and that's the
Same
point
thing.
right there.
Same
There's
thing.
other players who play better than Jayson Tatum. Now, does that mean that in a year and 2 years he can't play at that level, and not just play at that level, get the narrative behind him to be league MVP? Because you guys know for a fact that the league MVP has a lot to do with narrative. We want to make sure
SGA
that we
won
know
the
that.
MVP
100%.
largely because of narratives, though. Like he's won
SGA
and
has
he was
not
better.
won the MVP. SGA
No,
has not
both.
won the league
He
MVP.
had the narrative with
He
the.
has not.
I'm talking about the young players. They're college kids. They could be in the March Madness right now. All that. Chet was. I'm talking about all. That's all the stuff that was a part of it.
Right.
He carried them to 70 wins, basically. That was a part of what was behind it, and he was also better than Tatum. Like I think that's why.
That's
he's
my.
gonna win the
This is
MVP.
my point. You said the exact word, carry. These people that are winning MVPs have a significantly larger load to carry than Jayson Tatum does, and that is
So
my
I think
point.
players
That's-
have a larger load to carry than SJ. Giannis has a larger load to me. Jokic has a larger load to me. They're not winning MVP this year.
And not only that, Jason, and not only that, there's plenty of those.
Jokic should win.
Last year, I mean, Drew Holiday missed, I think, over 20 games. Porzingis missed something. I think Porzingis missed something like 25 games. They still won 64 games because Jayson Tatum played 77 games last year and led them in scoring, and led them in scoring, and led them in rebounding, and led them in assists. He's still doing that. So to the point about carrying, I mean, they're winning games with the strength of Jayson Tatum being.
But why don't we care? So why doesn't anybody care enough to?
Who's
why,
we?
Why,
It's
why
you.
isn't he considered the first
You
one?
don't care.
Why?
You don't care.
No.
You don't care.
Other
I'm
with
up
you.
here
Other with
fighting.
you. Other with you.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You don't care. Yes, I'm up here fighting for my life for this dude.
I thought I ducked that one. I thought I ducked that one.
When we talk about
Well,
Jayson Tatum,
Chill.
yes, sir.
Apparently, you might have to fight for your life for another dude. Swiper did mention that you have a lot of motion on TikTok, social media. Well, apparently you got a little motion on Twitter too, and apparently it's the NBA superstar. That's not feeling one of your takes. And this is what they responded to you on Twitter saying this. Chill, have you been drinking at all?
I have not been drinking. Oh, well,
You sober?
Not since we were in Orlando.
What's in that cup? What's in that cup, Chill?
This was some water in this.
Me
cup.
and Chill was on that Casamigos.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently you made a take about Kobe not being in your top 5. And Trae Young responded by saying, dude is drunk. How many big men you got? Expand your mind, OG.
6 of them in my.
Oh yeah, the Kobe at 11 thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No matter how many times it gets debunked, it's never gonna change. I guess.
Yep.
Well,
shout out to Trae Young.
Why are you so stubborn about
Shout out Trae Young.
Shout out to Trae Young, yo. Absolutely.
Yeah,
shout out to
Trae. But why are you so stubborn about it?
I'm not stubborn about it.
You definitely are stubborn about it.
100%. I'm not stubborn about it. Steph Curry moved up to 12. Yeah, Steph Curry moved up to 12.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm talking about why are you so stubborn about Kobe?
By show of hands, who has Kobe in their top 5 on here?
He doesn't have him in his top 10.
Oh shit.
I don't have him my top.
I'm the only one that got Kobe top 5.
I don't have a list beyond Bill Russell at 1, so I can't.
I don't
have him in my top 5.
I know what you are, Mark. I don't have him in my top 5, and he's about to leave my top 10 soon. But yeah, respect Kobe.
Man.
It's just and you can.
I don't think
chill.
I don't think you'll take it off.
That's crazy.
I don't think you'll take it off.
I'm saying, like, who do you want me to? Who do you want me to take out?
7 and 11. I'm cool
Let
with
me
that.
hear your team. Let me hear your
Yeah,
team.
you just happen to have him at the.
Now you ain't gonna respect my 10, bro.
Come on, Chill.
I got Bill Russell in my top 5. So, you know what I mean?
Huh?
Yeah, okay, so look, MJ, okay, we'll do MJ, Bron, Kareem, Tim Duncan. Y'all going Shaq top 10?
Yeah,
I have Bill Russell in my top 5.
Yeah, I got Bill Russell top 1.
Bill fucking Russell. Oh.
Yes, Bill fucking
Man,
Russell.
first off, I guarantee you right now, you couldn't beat Bill Russell in your sleep when he was in his prime. You wouldn't even score.
Okay.
0 to 11.
MJ, Bron, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Bill Russell.
I'm about to argue you about
Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain.
Kobe.
Bill Russell.
You said Kobe?
You got it.
Yeah, Kobe, Kareem.
Is Steph Curry in there?
For some people.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation, but Larry Bird, Magic Johnson,
Magic,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
I just want to hear.
We're going
somebody's specific top 10. I heard.
So I got Magic.
I saw his.
Chill, do yours. Let's hear me do. I'm putting the beat to it. I'm putting the beat to it.
Mad big. Hey, you love
Go ahead, Chill. Top 10.
And then say the criteria.
Top 10.
James Jordan.
Top 10.
James Jordan.
Top 10.
James Jordan.
Top 10.
Chamberlain. Russell.
James Jordan. Jabbar.
Chamberlain. Russell.
That's 5.
Magic, Bird, Duncan, Olajuwon, Diesel.
Magic.
And then that Kobe Allen.
Duncan.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then the criteria.
The criteria. The Brian is at 11. The criteria is your game timeless. Did you dominate? Did you win?
Could be right.
Did you win? Is your game transcendent? How impactful in society?
Timeless.
How impactful were you in society? And when I come up with that criteria,
everyone heard that.
Kobe's not.
Based on that exact same criteria, and this is not me arguing with you. How would Kobe Bryant not be above Hakeem Olajuwon?
How
would Hakeem?
Yeah, how based on those exact criteria: winning, game timeless,
everything
transcendent, impact on society.
Yep.
What was the other one? The other criteria.
Okay, so the impact on society.
Game timeless. Game timeless. Did you dominate? Did you win? Game transcendent. Impact on society.
And explain how Hakeem would be above Kobe Bryant by those measures.
Well, number one, his game is timeless.
And so is Kobe's.
Bryant's game is timeless.
He wasn't shooting threes. He could shoot though. I ain't gonna say
Kobe shot from all over the floor. Played both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
When I'm when I'm at the park, I don't scream Hakeem on a fadeaway.
Played on and off ball. No, okay. So let's just say they're both timeless. Okay.
Hakeem ain't got no shoes that's going stupid to this day.
They're both timeless. Okay. The next dominate.
They're both timeless. They both dominated 100%.
Yes.
Absolutely. They both dominated.
A little bit more though, but it's cool.
Who dominated a little bit more?
Kobe.
One of them averaged 35 a game
over Hakeem
while making first team all defense.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, but we'll say they both dominated just for the sake of conversation.
And did you win?
Who won more?
One of them won 5, one of them won 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the 2 that I won were way more. I was the man when I won my 2. But anyway.
So was Kobe when he won his 2.
My 2 was better. My 2 was better than your 2. I had arguments because I had.
That same stuff you just defended Tatum for, you're doing it to Kobe by saying,
no, I'm not.
No,
championships is worth more than yours.
So Kobe has won 5, Hakeem has won 2.
Correct.
But then you said he was the man for his 2.
So
then I said so was Kobe. So
Right.
Kobe was the man for 2, and then also has 3 more, by the way.
Correct.
Hakeem was the man for 2 and has 0 more.
We're objectively.
So who won more?
Kobe's numbers.
So winning.
Kobe was numbers. Kobe's numbers.
We said they're both dominant. They're both transcendent. They're both dominant and they're both timeless. So now we're on the winning criteria. Kobe won more. So right now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, they're tied somehow in timelessness and dominance. Kobe's up in the winning by a large margin. So the next criteria is what?
Is your game transcendent?
And define transcendent.
Everybody tried to play like Kobe.
Really, and Kobe is the one who went to Olajuwon for footwork. Because not only did Kobe go to Olajuwon,
Kobe had a Mamba Academy where Kyrie and Jamal Murray and them went.
An argument. You're supposed to learn from your OGs. He has great.
That's
Kobe.
Just
what did they call Andrew?
With all of those players going to Kobe Bryant went to Olajuwon.
So you're saying that Kobe can't be better than him because he learned?
I didn't say that he can't be better. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the reason why it's a point is because you came to me to become better. That's why you came to me.
But LeBron went to Kobe too.
You could go to a lot of.
LeBron went to Olajuwon too, also.
But why is Olajuwon better than LeBron then? Like, is that a mark on LeBron because he went to Olajuwon?
Why isn't Olajuwon better than?
Yeah, is that a mark on LeBron's career that he went to Olajuwon to learn from Olajuwon?
No, I don't think it's a mark on.
So why is that a mark on Kobe?
I don't think it's a mark on Kobe's, but he did go to him though. I'm not saying that it's a mark on it.
Everybody learns from everybody.
Can we define transcendence?
So I don't know where that came from.
I'm defining transcendent where your game, like you just talked about, and I feel like this is a pointless conversation because I go over this time and time again. But I've gone over this time and time again. I feel like your game is marked. Your game is copied. People take your game and they use your game as an example to move forward, to move the game forward.
Who has a larger argument for that than Kobe Bryant in the last 30 years?
I'll give you like the footwork. Hakeem has great footwork.
That's a genuine valid question.
No, Rod. That's a real question.
We got the boo boy, y'all.
Let's stay here. Let's stay here.
Most of the NBA, they tell you Kobe Bryant was who they were looking up to growing up. That's most of the NBA.
Sure. And then I can say this, and I can say the same thing.
The reason why people aren't going to Kobe for footwork or whatever, he passed away. You can't go to him.
But
that's the reason people aren't training with Kobe in the offseason. He's not here to train.
And your favorite player in the league is emulating Kobe Bryant.
Jayson Tatum, Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving. Like, you go down the list of the NBA, even role plays, they tell you it was Kobe. If we want to go down the mentality route and how people adopted that into their lives and into their game, it's Kobe. It's not no Hakeem Olajuwon. It's not Larry Bird.
You spin. I think
who went to Larry Bird in the offseason?
People take stuff from Hakeem's game and don't even know that like that's probably where they got it from. People know like, okay, Kobe was doing this, and they take it from Kobe.
We live in a different time now.
That's last week the post up was dying. You said everyone's playing the same.
But it's the footwork that Hakeem had.
Hakeem's timelessness is the post up's dying.
If people are
playing in the post less than ever, you can't tell me Hakeem's game is timeless when he's the best post player ever in your opinion.
I can tell you that his game. Whoa. Nope, we're not going to do that. I said what I said. Well, that's not true, Mars. What I said last week was, may I finish? I said that the guys playing on the post. Like Olajuwon aren't around. Players play on the post. Let's be clear about that. But you can't emulate what Olajuwon does, just like people are trying to emulate what Kobe Bryant does.
Jokic emulates what Olajuwon does all the time. So does Embiid. That's who they learn from.
The conversation was about apparently the whole league plays the same and is trying to copy the Boston Celtics, and that people aren't posting up anymore. That's what you said verbatim. I remember it because I was arguing passionately against it. And now you're saying that Hakeem's game is timeless when last week you said the post up is dying and no one's posting up anymore.
My game
so how is he timeless if no one posts up?
just because. Wait a minute, Mars.
But you said
what you're
transcendent.
Just because guys don't post up as much. How many guys play? Kobe Bryant lived in the mid-range. How many people are playing in the mid-range today?
A lot of people.
No, they're not. These dudes live on the long ball line. That's not
Kevin Durant,
Kawhi
DeMar
Leonard.
DeRozan,
Give me
Luka's in the mid-range.
So
LeBron's
Joker plays on the block. So Joker plays on the block. Joel Embiid plays on the box. Not only does Joel Embiid play on the box, Mark Williams plays on the box. The big guy in Charlotte. There's plenty of guys who still play on the box today. Plenty.
But the best
If you wanna
players in the
talk about-
league, including Tatum, including SGA, including Kevin Durant, including Kawhi Leonard, they're all mid-range merchants. DeMar DeRozan, another mid-range merchant. There's a bunch of them that are still styling and scoring in the mid-range.
And Joker plays on the box.
Yeah.
Joker's a center.
Joel Embiid plays on the
A
box.
center.
Yes.
Okay, so there's plenty of other guys, wing players. Jayson
Okay,
Tatum
but if
plays
all the
Jayson
guards
Tatum
are
plays on the
modeling
block.
after Kobe, though, if you ask a
And-
majority of these players that are in the league, they will even tell you over LeBron, they're emulating their game off of Kobe Bryant because they can actually take tangible skill sets from Kobe to make a part of their game. You can't do that with LeBron. And respectfully, Hakeem is a big. So a big doesn't have the same kind of cachet with NBA players
There's
as
5
somebody that's
players
a
with more than 4 post-up possessions a game this year. 5.
That's even. Come here.
I would say that
That's what we're doing.
University.
So it's 5 players in the game today. Of the 435 players that are in the NBA, it's only 5 players that play
possessions a game.
Give me a break. So nobody plays on the
That's
box
an
today in the
objective
NBA.
fact.
All we're doing. Okay, so if you're looking that up, Mars, if you're looking up the objective fact that it's only 5 guys in the NBA that play on the box, how many guys are shooting more at the long ball line than they are in the mid range? Go.
There's more people shooting from 3. What I'm saying is,
Which is not Kobe Bryant's game, by the way.
what I'm saying
not
is,
Kobe Bryant's game.
in the whole
fact,
NBA,
it's the complete opposite of his game.
in the whole NBA, there are 5 players who post up more than 4 times per game, 4 possessions a game. There is way more players who shoot more than 4 mid-range shots a game. Way more. I could do that without even looking. Jalen Brunson, Shea, Kevin Durant, DeMar DeRozan, Kyrie. If I want to keep going, Jason Tatum,
Jamal Murray. Takes 6
Jamal
games.
Murray, Cade Cunningham. Like I don't even need to look that up.
Neither of their games are
Why?
transcendent.
Way more mid-range guys.
And I also see guards posting
Jimmy
up.
Butler,
I also see guards posting up. I see Giannis playing on the block. I see Cat playing on the block. Not only do I see Cat playing on the block, we already talked about Joker. We already talked about all these other big guys that play on the box in Joel Embiid. We see these guys playing on the block, and they play on the block because that's what big guys do, like Olajuwon did, like Shaq did, like all of these guys did.
The guys with the 4 or more post-ups, Giannis, Şengün, Zubac.
Şengün plays on the box.
Yeah,
yes,
Zubac,
he does.
Embiid, he only played 19 games, but we know he posts up.
Yes, sir.
Those are the only guys with more than 4. The guys with more than 3, so more than 3, LeBron, Jaren Jackson, Bobby Portis, Siakam, and Kristaps Porzingis. That's everyone who posted up more than 3 times per game in the NBA this year.
And Bobby
That's
Portis plays a
10
lot
people.
behind. Yeah, and Bobby Portis plays a lot behind the long ball line too.
It's 10 human beings in the NBA with
I
more
get
than
it.
3 post-ups.
Yeah, I get it. And
But the
Los.
team's game is timeless.
Los, you was about to say something.
Yeah, I say I don't think either of their games are transcendent
And why is that?
because Kobe's game emulates Jordan so similarly that you would have to give Michael Jordan the transcendent factor of that game. Like we're talking about all this midi.
game.
Yeah, we're talking about all this midi stuff, all this that's Jordan. Kobe emulated Jordan's game. As far as Hakeem, back to the basket was the style of the NBA. As far as the footwork's concerned, did he level up the back to the basket game? Sure, with his footwork. However, Jalen mentioned the dream shake as well. Did he add a couple moves to an already existing aspect of the game? Yes, he did. Transcendent is Steph Curry. That's the way I look at transcendence. Transcendent is Michael Jordan. That's transcendence to me. If you want to talk about Hakeem, you got to talk about Kareem. You got to talk about Wilt because they were dominant on the block back to the basket game way before Hakeem came along. So that's kind of my point on it. I don't think either player is transcendent. Both of them are Hall of Famer, top 7, 10 all time, whatever you want to put it. Cool. But as transcendent, as far as the word transcendent goes, neither of them transcended the game, in my opinion. Respectfully.
I can agree with that. More than Hakeem being more transcendent than Kobe. I can agree with that. Personally. But I think I illustrated that.
I feel like that's disrespectful, low key though.
It depends how you define transcendent. If you're saying transcendent comes from like
You could go
being the
into-
pioneer, then I get what you're saying.
Any basketball gym from the time Hakeem.
How does it move forward?
Today,
How does it move?
If for a point center, then is Bill Walton more transcendent than Joker?
More transcendent?
Yeah, Bill Walton was maybe one of the first, or if not the first.
Jokic is transcendent. Jokic is transcendent.
Bill Russell was playing.
Well, yeah, respect. Yeah,
So
but
Chamberlain
Bill
too.
Russell too. Yeah, but no Chamberlain.
Yeah. Will was kind of a place.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I think there are. For me, it's hard to say Kobe's not transcendent. For me, because I was most impacted by Jordan, and then Kobe, and then
I think
LeBron came
Kobe
in there.
obviously transcended the game just with his societal impact, which was the next point that he obviously clears Hakeem in. If you view transcendence as that, Allen Iverson to me transcended basketball.
I agree because he changed the
his
entire
figure, his
culture. He changed
Yeah,
the
but
entire
I think Kobe, even if you want to go the Mamba mentality route, that's transcendent. People take that into their everyday lives, not even athletes, just people.
But you got to think
that in the corporate world, they literally do seminars.
That's transcendence. That's transcendence. Kobe is very clearly
14
transcendent.
years. The Mamba mentality thing started coming 14 years after he entered the NBA. So he's on his way out when the Mamba mentality starts to kick in.
And I can
So as far as
never too late to be transcendent.
Doesn't matter though.
Hey, you're never too late to be transcendent.
I'm not mad at that.
And I can say the same thing about Olajuwon, where this is the architect of how you build your NBA championship team. That's transcendent. You build your team around this type of architect, this type of player, and moving forward.
How many bigs are like that?
That changes. That changes, bro. I don't feel.
How many bigs are like that, Swiper? I'm glad you brought that up.
I don't think
how many bigs are like Olajuwon?
I don't. Since Hakeem is what? Tim Duncan.
How many what? Say that one more time.
Since Hakeem, who's been built around like Hakeem? Tim Duncan. That's it.
Championship team. Kevin Garnett maybe at the power forward. In terms of
tier
one defensive players.
If you want to count him, it's Tim Duncan and KG. LeBron ain't Hakeem. Kobe obviously ain't Hakeem. Shaq ain't Hakeem.
Right.
Steph, not Hakeem. Kevin Durant, if you want to group him with Steph, not Hakeem. Jason Tatum, no.
Jokic,
Giannis is a Jokic, no.
Which would explain why we have different winners. That would explain it. And if I'm looking at what's going on in Denver, they built their unit around Joker and they won.
Have we seen a Kobe?
Jokic is like the anti-Hakeem.
You say that about Hakeem. Have we seen a Kobe since Kobe?
Yes.
Who? Are you gonna say AE?
No.
Who have we seen?
Kyrie is a compressed Kobe.
The name that gets thrown around a lot in this conversation, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this. Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, both of them are in those mentions.
Have we seen Olajuwon since Olajuwon left the game?
No.
And I don't think it's possible, personally. That was a one.
And I feel I feel like because we haven't seen anything like that, we probably won't see anything like that, or not again in my lifetime. And I think that's what makes him transcendent.
Alexander Sarr.
I think he's more Rudy Gobert than
if that's the case, but then so if that's the case, he's transcendent because we won't see anything like that again. Hakeem's more transcendent than Michael Jordan because we saw Kobe Bryant.
I didn't say more than that. I'm not saying more than that. No.
So, I still think it's crazy that Kobe not in somebody's top 10. That don't make that like.
I just feel like if we go down the criteria, there's at least one or two players who Kobe is clearly ahead of by these criteria, and for some reason he's not in the top 10. We just went through it. He's very clearly beating Hakeem in these categories. He's very clearly beating Hakeem in these categories. We could do the same thing for Larry Bird. He won more than Larry Bird. He definitely transcended the game more than Larry Bird. His societal impact definitely is higher.
He did not transcend the game more than Larry Bird. No, he did not. That's not true. Larry Bird saved the league. Stop. He didn't do that. He did not transcend the game.
That's fair.
No,
he did
not.
His societal impact is definitely higher than Larry Bird.
Well, number one, the NBA isn't what it is without Larry Bird.
That's
considering
true.
In terms of society, this is what we know in terms of the NBA, and it has a lot to do with both Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. So that right there alone, I'm not even talking about how good he was as a player, and the all around player that he was, both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. That point I won't argue. No, that point I won't argue. But when we get back to Olajuwon, Marsh, you know as well as I do, or you know this. I'm a big man merchant. I dig the big guy. Period.
You do?
Oh.
I dig the big guy.
Yeah, so Kobe's out of your list because of bias.
I dig the big guy. It's not an unfair. Okay,
first of all, but it's like for some reason he doesn't acknowledge that Kobe's not in the top 10 because he's biased against Kobe.
Okay, first and
or
foremost,
biased towards the big, if you want to put it that way.
First and foremost, it would be bias means an unfair advantage. Okay, what's the unfair advantage
that he's very clearly unfair?
Because why is it unfair?
because we just went through all the criteria and Kobe was beating Hakeem, and yet you still won't put him above Hakeem. That's the definition of unfair.
That's not unfair.
If you have a set criteria,
I do have a set criteria.
A beats player B by your criteria, and you won't put player A above player B, how is that fair?
Because if I have a set criteria, you think you're debunking my criteria because you're mentioning stuff like societal impact, which I already had that in my. Which I
why is Bill Russell not number one?
Societally impactful.
Bill Russell is the most impactful player ever, and on top of that, has won more than any player ever.
He's the GOAT. No,
I'm asking chill because to be fair, no one trumps Bill Russell on any of those things.
First of all, your societal impact, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all. There's other things.
He's the most I don't even. I mean, you ask me, transcendent.
That doesn't mean. I think Bill Russell's game travels 100%, but it doesn't travel more than James. It doesn't travel. I don't think it travels more than Jordan. I don't think it travels more than Jabbar's game. I don't think it travels more than Chamberlain's game. I don't.
Kobe.
No,
I got Kobe over Steph.
I do.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Steph not touching Kobe yet. I don't even think that's a conversation.
I don't know. Outside of Bill Russell, I can't tell you anything.
But Sean, we got to move on though, because we still got 2 playoff series that we got to talk about. We're not going to be able to deep dive into these heavily, but we can spend about 10 minutes talking about each of them. Let's start with the Clippers and the Nuggets. The Nuggets obviously got the win last night, and they are up 3-2 right now. They beat the hell out of the Clippers. Point blank period. They beat them 131-115. Jamal Murray went off, had 43 points, 7 assists. Russell Westbrook demands you guys' respect. And ultimately, the Clippers are in trouble right now.
All right, look. This is going to be the best we see of Russ. This is just straight beef. That's why he's playing like this. He got straight smoke with the Clippers.
Isn't he shooting like 45% at the long ball line for the series? Something goofy
like
that?
44.
Yeah, he's playing absolutely out of his mind right now. I was talking to Jay about this the other day. They have nothing for Jokic. Absolutely nothing for Jokic. I love Kawhi. I love seeing healthy Kawhi. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. James Harden, he's literally proving everybody right. He's being consistently inconsistent. Like we have these big expectations for James Harden in the regular season. He plays really well, gets into the playoffs, and has great games, has very low games. I know Nuggets gonna close this one out in 6. The fact that Jamal Murray got off the way he did that last game, Jokic didn't even have to do his thing like he normally does. And the game before, he had 31 and 26 and 8. I mean, shit's ridiculous. But I got Nuggets closing this one out, yeah.
When I talk to
you got Clippers in 7?
You said Clippers in 7?
I'm asking Swapper if he has Clippers.
Oh, me.
Oh.
I mean, I think the Nuggets should win the series. I'll say it now. Like having a 3-2 lead, they should win the series. But I think the issue comes down to, I mean, honestly, I didn't expect the Clippers to fold like this. My heart is folding. Kawhi Leonard is folding. Like I
didn't
just
expect Harden.
Harden had his thing.
No, but I'm saying he has been folding though, Mars. That he hates physicality. Mars, look at me, Mars. He hates physicality. He has not done well with physicality. I did not expect for Christian Brown to get into his head the way that he has. He's literally complaining almost every other play because of contact. That's a
when you're the biggest grifter of all time, did you expect him to?
I know, but it's playoffs though, Mars. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't expect for the Clippers collectively outside of Zubac to be complaining this much about how physical the series has gotten, including Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard is looking at the referees.
And Nicholas Batum though complaining, but I get it.
I mean Batum even yesterday we got pushed. Jokic like bodied him. He was like looking at the ref. I'm saying everything turned when the Nuggets, after quarter 1, turned the physicality up. And outside of that game 3 shooting performance from the Clippers, Mars, I would say they've been out hustling, out working, and being more physical and honestly the better team in most of the quarters ever since that. And I think that's like, for me, that's like a real like cause for concern. And the Jokic quote yesterday that I put up when he was asked about it at the end of the game, he said that we want pressure, we want to make it nasty, we want to make it rough, we want physicality. Like they're actively trying to like initiate contact,
bringing the fight to you. We're bringing the fight to you.
Not softer than them.
Yeah, we're bringing the fight to you. That's what we're doing. 100%, we are bringing the fight to you. So what's going on in the Lakers series? When I told you that in order for Minnesota to have a legit shot, they had to slow down Austin Reeves because I was canceling out what both Luka and I think they did the same job with Norman Powell. I think that they are canceling out Norman Powell. I think they're completely slowing him down. And now you're relying on Chris Dunn making 6 out of 7 threes or 6 out of 7 shots. And I'll put my name in the hat and I'll push my chips to the front of the table and bet on that all day long that's not going to happen. I'm 100% doing that. I will say that Zubac is giving Joker. Don't get fooled by the box score. Zubac is giving Joker all he can handle.
Yeah,
100%. He is giving Joker all he can handle. He's been great around the basket. Not only has he been great around the basket, but he's also been great on defense. Joker is working for everything he gets. There's nothing easy. But ultimately,
but that's the thing. They're going to that zone now because they feel like they can't control Denver anymore. And I'm saying, chill. That's a problem. Go ahead. I just added to your point.
100%. No doubt about that. But the thing that I saw last night, Swiper, and I'm just going to be frank with you. Jamal Murray told Chris Dunn, I'm kicking your ass tonight. You ain't going to do nothing about it.
From the start.
Yeah, that Jamal Murray game.
I'm kicking your ass tonight, and you ain't going to do a damn thing about it.
Top 20 guard to go according to PC.
That was it. That's all that was. And I worry sometimes. Mars and I have had this conversation. I worry sometimes when you going up against a guy who the meat and potatoes of his shots are tough shots, and that's what I'm relying on in order for you to score. But Jamal Murray is such a damn good tough shot maker that I don't worry about it nearly as much with him because he's so good at making tough shots that he can rely on that, not just the majority of the time, but sometimes he can rely on that. So when you leave him open, he's canning really good shots. The fact that Aaron Gordon was what Aaron Gordon is, and Aaron Gordon hasn't been much of a rebounder, but I feel like this team has done everything that's necessary in order to win. I think this series is over. I had picked the Nuggets in 6 before the series started. I think the series ends on Thursday night.
Do you expect Kawhi to have and that's what I'm saying too, on this conversation, because after game 2, Kawhi Leonard was getting a lot of praise. And I would say they've done Aaron Gordon primarily and Christian Brown. They have done another like really good job of forcing Kawhi to shoot very difficult shots. And I mean, outside of game 2, man, they really have like,
well, he's leveled up, Bron. Well, no, Bron, I'm sorry. Swipe, but he's like, we got the big time game, that game 2 where he went off. Right. And then we had the game 1 where we had 7 turnovers, but now we've evened it out. So can the Nuggets withstand a guy like Kawhi Leonard going 25, 24? As long as we got guys who can match that kind of production. Yeah, we got guys who can match that kind of production. Then turn around and we get our other guys to do the other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. You can't really account for Jamal Murray going for 40 plus. All right, that definitely wasn't on your bingo card. No, it wasn't. But it's a good thing to have. No doubt about that. So, I mean, I feel like this Nuggets team, I think that they've done what was necessary.
Chill, was there a stretch at all when I told you going to the playoffs about their defense? And I'd love for y'all to comment on this. And Mars, because and Maran, we've been talking for months about this. They had never shown this level of defensive physicality or intentionality the entire year. That has been like the thing that's flipped the series, y'all. I think it's actually been the fact that they have been pushing the chips to the table on the defensive end, and that's led to like where they are right now.
Is it fair to say, Swiper? Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say, Swiper, that the Clippers aren't that difficult to guard? Like once Leonard,
no, that's not fair.
No,
because they had the best offense in the league based on the last 30 games.
Well,
for a reason.
And with that being said, when you have a guard in Christian Brown who is taking the fight to James Harden and slowing him down, like wouldn't that make them less difficult to guard because he's their primary distributor and play?
But everybody said going into the series though that the reason why they would lose, including me as well, that it's to pick and roll with Harden and spraying it out to the floor. Right. They basically have taken that away from Harden for the most part. But again, they hadn't shown this at any point. Literally, Jokic and Brown on every drive on a screen, they're forcing Harden wide away from the basket, and they're trying to like be physical with him at the point, so he just doesn't have open looks. He's not getting comfortable passes off. They're just doing something they didn't do all year, y'all.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is James Harden has done an absolutely terrible job adjusting his game in the playoffs. I'll say.
What else is new, Los? What else is new?
The last 5-7 years, I've been watching James Harden. Like, man, do something else, man. He hates physicality. The playoffs is based on physical. Like, it's a physical. Every time we get to the playoffs, it's always this lollipop league. In the regular season, we get to the playoffs, and it's the nitty gritty shit get real. And every time shit get real, James Harden don't want to deal with it. So Clippers ain't got no hope. They should have just kept Paul George at this point. God damn it! This shit is just
Did I get my game? Did I get my game I was talking about, Mars, from James Harden? Have I gotten it yet, or we're not there yet?
If it gets worse than this, then that's tough. I assume game 5. That was game 5 last night, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
game
that was
5.
game 5.
I assume game 5 was the stinker James Harden game. Not saying he was good in game 4, 3. Well, game 3 I actually think he was quite good, but I'm not saying he was good in game 4. But game 5 was like the typical, James Harden just not trying to play basketball today, stinker, whatever. So on the Clippers side of things, you probably hope that James Harden and Kawhi step up because they don't really have much hope if they don't. Their most consistent player throughout the series has been Zoo. I think.
Sure.
He's been really good.
We got to put some respect on Jamal Murray, man.
I mean, Jamal Murray was
What kind of respect we got to put on him?
He played like that. The Nuggets become a new team, and they become really hard to play.
NBA championship level point guard respect.
He's a playoff riser. Like he's shown the ability to do this time and time again. He never gets the love. He's one of the most underrated players.
Playoff Maul.
Love that he deserves. He's an NBA champion. He shows up in big moments. Like there's a lot of players who do not show up in big moments, like Harden, like we're talking about right now. But when we see somebody like Jamal Murray, somebody we don't talk about, he's getting 40 when they need it in a pivotal swing game.
Jamal Murray just came up having a stinker in game 4.
That's fine, and he came out in 40 when they needed it. Like a series,
the 14 game 4. Like,
it's fine. A series is 7 games. You got to win 4. If he plays good in 4 and they win 4, he did his job. I'm not saying
the point I'm making is we can't be like he's a playoff riser when he plays great and then ignore the stinkers. That's what I'm saying.
Overall, he's been a playoff riser. You can't say overall. Would you say he's a playoff riser?
Well, last postseason he stunk.
You said what?
Last year in the playoffs he wasn't good. So
okay, and he's also been a champion.
In 2019 he wasn't that good. He had 2020 he was great. 2023 he was great. 2019 man. Last year man. This year man. He's good.
What you're saying is you're putting an unreal expectation on somebody that like Jamal.
No, what I'm saying is he didn't rise in 19 and he didn't rise last year.
He did
rise in 2020. He did rise in 2020 and he did rise in 2023. This year he hasn't rose. He's been what he is.
For his
so
career.
he's about 50-50.
I hear you. You're being way too literal about it, and I've noticed that about you. Here's my thing. There's players who have historically, time and time again, lowered their level of play when the moment comes.
James
right?
Harden, Joel Embiid. Yeah,
you can even say somebody like Chris Paul. Some like people that have.
Well, no, Chris Paul is not a playoff dropper.
Chris Paul has had bad moments in the playoffs too,
and so has Jamal Murray, but he's not a playoff dropper.
Okay, just like you're not trying to put that on.
I'm disagreeing with Chris Paul being a playoff dropper. Yes,
that's cool. Jamal Murray is not a playoff dropper. Majority of the time, the playoffs come. Jamal Murray rises to the moments. We've seen him time and time again in big moments rise to the occasion.
Would it be Mars? Would it be because the expectation?
Sometimes he rises, sometimes he doesn't. That's
what I'm asking, Mars, is that
would it be about any player though? Like he's played a long career.
Well, no, we can't say that about every player because would the level of expectation for Jamal Murray be the same for James Harden?
What he just said, you could say about every player. Every player has had stinkers.
And this is what I'm talking about. Mars.
I'm not saying stinkers. I'm saying sometimes he rises, and sometimes he doesn't. I'm not saying sometimes he has great games and sometimes he has bad games. That's true about every player. What I'm saying is he gets the playoff riser moniker for 2023, rightfully so. 2020 he was amazing. But the other postseason, 2019, 2024 last year, this
overall,
year he's been about what he expects. He's been just what he is. Like,
but he was hurt last year, though. To be fair, we did talk about that.
And apparently he was coming into this postseason hurt. But like now look, he's playing
overall.
So like overall, I would say he's a good playoff player. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say he's a riser. I wouldn't say he's a dropper. I would say if the Nuggets want to win, you have to get the playoff riser version.
How did you become? But
on a postseason basis, I'm not going into it like, Jamal Murray's just going to rise this year. I'm not going into it. I'm going into whatever Jamal Murray you get.
But you do. But
I'm going into it. Whatever Jamal Murray you get is whatever Jamal Murray you get.
Well, no, but whatever Jamal Murray you get, that doesn't mean that we're going to win, Mars. The reason why he's good.
They need the playoff riser Jamal Murray to win.
He has risen in the playoffs, right?
Yes, they need that one to win. That doesn't mean that's what they're going to get.
I think we need to preface it. When we say rise, it's rising from the regular season. It's
Stop,
rising from the regular season.
Yes.
It's like, you know that's nasty.
What's that?
It's just like semantics. I understand. I also agree, but this is why I've been pressing Mars about certain things about this team for a while now. I think Jamal, he's better than what a lot of people feel. At his best, he's an all-NBA player. But to Mars' point, he doesn't get to his best a lot. But when he does, to your point, I mean, how many guards are better than him?
The Nuggets are a different team when Jamal Murray plays at that level.
He seems to have those moments more often in the playoffs.
He does. Statistically, he does. And on top of that,
which makes you a playoff riser.
Yeah, I think I think that's fair, Monica. I think the frustration I have with Murray, and I've talked about openly, is he takes a while to kick into gear. Once he does, though, in a season, the Nuggets all of a sudden are really good. But I think that's where people get the narrative mixed up. Like, does Jokic have help? Does he not have help? I'm saying I think he does when Murray's like this. But when he's at his lows, that's when things are like not great. And I'm saying I didn't know if Murray had this in him, to Marge's point, because he was hurt coming into the playoff. And prior to that game yesterday, he was averaging 20 in the series. Not crazy, good game war or whatever. But then yesterday, all of a sudden, Jamal Murray is like, okay, I rolled my ankle. And when he gets hurt, he feels, for whatever reason in his head, it's like everything's switched on. And then now he's just like, Chris Dunn, bow. Kawhi Leonard, bow. Like Zubac, come out here in this drop.
He's like Wolverine. Like when he gets injured, like that's his superpower. Like
right, exactly. And then
go ahead. All right, fellas, we're gonna talk briefly about the Knicks and the Pistons. The Pistons got their second game and forced Game 6 last night by winning in the Garden by a score of 106-103. Ironically, the Pistons have won both of their games in New York. But talk to me about this game last night, fellas. What do we see?
They should be up 3-2.
They should be up 3-2. I'm glad I said it on them. Knicks fans are angry about that.
This has been one of my favorite series to watch just because of the physicality. Like, I love how physical each game has been and how much the refs are letting them get away with. Like, it just feels like a different type of series than you like see in 2025, just with the physicality that everybody is playing with. I think the Pistons, like I said, it feels like a 7-game series. They got the game yesterday. It feels like they should win a game at home, but they can't seem to figure it out how to get a win at home. And they should have won the last game before this game when Nos is a Knicks fan, so he's not agreeing with the foul call. That was a foul. We all know. Like
he didn't think it was a foul?
He thinks it was a foul. They shouldn't have called it because the game was physical. Like
it was a foul. Tobias Harris threw my man's on the floor before he even shot the ball.
The refs already said that wasn't a foul.
Yeah,
it's in the last 2-minute report. So what's in the last 2-minute report is that Tim Hardaway Jr. was fouled.
Yeah, but they ain't call it. So obviously they was missing calls all across the goddamn board. So that's
they
wait. So do you honestly think? Like for you, because the game you felt like was not called correctly in the first 3 quarters, that overrides the fact that for the last shot of the game with no time on the clock, basically down 1. That justifies not getting that foul call with the game on the line and a chance to win?
No. So I'll say this. As we all know, typically at the end of the game, end of half, whatever, they're not called. They're trying to hold their whistle. They're trying to let the game rest in the hands of the players. That's the first thing. The second thing, though, is there are going to be makeup calls along the way. There's going to be a lot of bullshit called on either side. There's going to be makeup calls on either side. In that moment, the ref's angle, he was on the left side of Tim Hardaway. Couldn't see the right side of his body. Tim Hardaway double pumped. So therefore, it looks like he was trying to avoid the contest when he got hit. So if you really take semantics into it, it's a bang bang call. It's a bang bang call.
No, it's not.
Was he fouled?
It's multiple refs out there. Somebody had the angle to see.
Remember, there's a baseline. There's somebody right here across the court.
Yeah,
and there's somebody else over here.
They all swallowed them motherfucking whistles. And
well, guess what? It's the Knicks. They gonna swallow that goddamn whistle versus the Pistons. It is what it is, man. Y'all can say what y'all want about the foul call. Don't really matter. Game over. Game over.
Damn foul. I picked the Knicks. I picked the Knicks in 7.
That's cool.
Hey, great game by Cade last night, chill.
Yes.
I love Cade. Cade's so tough. Cade's so tough.
Jalen Brunson on the other hand.
Now,
his ankle's hurting.
Now, don't do that, because had that man not rolled his ankle and they didn't have to take him out for that 3 to 4 minute stretch of the game,
y'all be so
would have closed the game out.
Man.
The Knicks probably would have closed the game out like they closed out all the other games because
his ankle.
Oh, you mean like they closed out game 2 when he got a Sar Thompson thrown out for no reason?
I mean, you could say that one game, yeah, but all the other games, the Knicks have figured out a way to close it. Even the last game when Cat started hitting all those crazy shots, like the Knicks have found a way to win these games, and it felt like they was going to find a way to win that game until for that stretch of time with Josh Hart and Brunson couldn't get back in the game. And shout out to JB Bickerstaff. He was very smart and strategic and not calling the timeout. They got lucky. There was no fouls. There was nothing to stop the play of the game. He just kept it going to make sure that Brunson could not get back in there, and it really handicapped the Knicks.
Shout out to JB anyway, because he's done an absolutely great job with this team. Like, shout out JB Bickerstaff to get fired and then to immediately go into another situation where you elevate everything in the organization. Shout out JB Bickerstaff. Love to see that.
Yeah,
but with that being said, I don't think the Pistons really have enough. And shout out the Pistons. The one thing that's been pissing me off about this is that people will take the Pistons as slouches. They play extremely hard every single night. Cade Cunningham is one of them ones. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Cade is that guy. So when you got Beasley stepping up every now and then, you got Jalen Duren crashing, Isaiah Stewart bringing the toughness and the physicality. With Ivy, that's a really good team. Like, people keep talking shit just because it's the Pistons. Pistons are a good team. So I need my Knicks to make it out this series. I am a little biased. I'll give it to you. Was it a foul? Definitely was a foul. Swallow this whistle. It is what it is. But Knicks in 6. I appreciate everybody for making their comments.
My thing is y'all. I told you this the other day, and it's crazy you said Jaden Ivey but whatever. But my thing is the Knicks messed up letting this series go any longer. First of all, this is the most physical series in the playoffs. The Knicks. First of all, Tom Thibodeau coaches like there's no tomorrow. He is playing all his players 45 to 48 minutes a game. Like, you're not coming out this game unless you're like Jalen Brunson, you roll your ankle and we have to take you out. Or you're like Cat and you get in foul trouble and we can't play you. But other than that, you're playing the whole game. So he's not coaching for the longevity of the playoffs. He's coaching right now. This is not a recipe. Like, this is not a series you want to go further. Because first of all, if Isaiah Stewart steps foot on that court, it's going to be even more physical. It might be a fight. You don't want to have to fight the Pistons for any longer than you have to fight them, because now you still got to go play the Celtics.
Get them dudes out of here today. Stop playing with them.
Yeah, like, y'all need to finish this series quick, because the more y'all fight with the Pistons, the harder it's going to be to beat the Celtics if y'all win that fight with the Pistons.
I picked the Knicks in 7. I'm still sticking with that. But
it feels like it should be 7. It feels like
I picked the Knicks in 7. So the Knicks, I'm sorry. Detroit. There's a part of me, real quick, Ron, and I know we got to move on, but there's a part of me. The Knicks won game 1. I'm not the Knicks. I'm sorry. The Pistons won game 1 on their floor. They won game 5 on their floor. Can they win game 7 on their floor?
They got to win game 6 on their floor, though.
I think it's going back to the Garden. Because they let them out of Detroit with that win. Ain't no way they letting them out of Detroit with another win. No way. They are not letting them out of Detroit with a win tomorrow night. Hell no. They ain't letting them out of there.
And then the biggest question is, what is Brunson and what is Josh Hart going to look like? Josh Hart landed smooth on his back. That looked like it hurt. And then Jalen Brunson, he seems like he's getting hurt like every other game for a little bit. He might just have a bad ankle that like flares up a little bit. If
he rushed it. He wasn't ready, but he was doing that because he was trying to get on the All-NBA team and he was trying to get the amount of games. He wasn't ready.
You got a bad ankle, like if you step too hard, you step the wrong way, like it's going to hurt.
He should have been out for a month. If he did that in January, he's out till after the All-Star break.
So we'll see what they look like.
I will say my Knicks have a god-awful bench. So, I mean, that just is what
No, you don't. No, you do not, Los. I'm not buying that. You know why I'm not buying that? Because Tibbs, the reason why Tibbs just got a quick hook. When Tibbs puts you on the floor, your ass better do something. And you better do something quick. If you don't do something, your ass is sitting over here for the rest of the game. Period.
Yeah,
that's more than fair. That's more than fair. Look, Tibbs is running us right into the damn ground like he do every year. That's fine. At the end of the day,
of his campaign. When campaign come in, I'll be like, bruh, please just don't have him with the ball.
Campaign, it depends. If campaign start off the game with an air ball, shit's done. And take him out. He don't need to play no more because that means 2-3 more of them things going up. So nah. But hey, I'm still going with my Knicks in 6, man.
Right.
All right, fellas, we got some super chats, so let's go ahead and get to it. Salute to everybody that's in the chat right now. Y'all make the show special, and y'all make this what it is. So salute to you guys. All right, let's get into it. We got a new member by the name of Jamal. Shout out to Jamal Squared. Conscious E sent through a super chat and said, OG, I was wrong. I was wrong about my guys. Cavs are great, but my finals prediction still stands. Boston versus Denver, Boston in 7.
I already said it. And I know you're a Cavs guy, and I'm a big-time Cavs fan, too. I just don't think they can beat Boston 4 times in a week. I don't see it.
Man, if Denver makes it all the way to the finals, that means they've got everything together. Boston is not beating that, respectfully. But if they make it,
Mars. Here we go, Mars, with the bullshit.
The context of the super chat was they beat the Thunder, then they beat the Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, like then everything's different.
That don't mean they're gonna beat.
Can we say the same thing? Can we say the same thing about the Celtics?
No.
Can we say the same thing about them if they back in the finals?
I'm sorry, no. Respectfully, no.
You think they're dragging themselves back into the finals? They rolling coming into the finals too.
Yeah, I'm saying, and you have but that means there's so many things going right for Denver, including Jokic and Murray and all of them. No, you're not beating that. But next super chat.
Celtics still the best team in the league, though.
I mean, respect Thunder. Respect Thunder.
No name sent through a members chat and said, talk about Giannis getting blown by like Luka.
He was exhausted. He played he had to carry everything on both.
Giannis still went to the rim with him. He just couldn't. He didn't stop him. Luka would have just let him go.
That's
maybe Giannis should have sent him left. Like
I'm sorry, man. I just think the whole conversation is just hilarious to me. But I understand. Everybody got their favorites. It is what it is,
including you.
Drink more water said, as a Bucks fan, their absolute best case scenario is to trade Dame to a clearly taken team for some pieces, and Dame can be a cap space filler for a taken team. Most likely, they have to build the best team possible next year.
So Dame to Utah.
Would they trade LaMelo Ball finally for Dame?
That's just me and Mars.
Can you trade an injured player?
If they approve it, yeah.
If they accept the trade, yeah.
He's got a.
I thought they had to pass a physical.
Yeah, he's got to pass the physical.
I mean, you cannot.
But the team can accept a player.
You can accept it without the physical, yeah.
But that's just
whatever.
Yeah, that's their discretion.
Teddy Hart said, who wins a series between this Pacers team and the one with PG, Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, George Hill, and Lance Stevenson?
This one.
I'm taking this one.
Danny Granger was
hell no, y'all crazy.
Danny Granger was done by that point.
Roy Hibbert versus this team.
Roy Hibbert getting cooked, brother.
Yeah, Danny Granger wasn't
putting him in a
Danny Granger.
Bro, he couldn't even hold Chris Bosh.
So you remember Paul George? Like he was only in like year 3. Do you remember him? Like this isn't all world Paul George, and this is Danny Granger on the.
I thought he was saying, okay, my point.
He talking about Paul George when he dunked on Bron and then Winchester.
He's in like year 3 at that point. Like this ain't even this is not all world Paul George. No, he ain't there yet.
That Paul George is still quite good.
Yeah, he's still
I'm
here.
about to say, Mar, they tripping. PG was tough.
That PG might have had more mental toughness.
That's crazy. Continue on.
You're
not lying though. You're not lying.
He came back from a broken leg. I think he got some mental toughness later on as well. But
Timothy Imac sent through a super chat and said, it's not JT's fault if they built a well-oiled machine around him. The supporting cast keeps them in the game. JT and JB just need to go out there and hoop. Take turns cooking. Paulo needs to cook for his team to stay in.
Shouts.
Yep.
Thank you for proving my point. I appreciate you, big dog.
I mean, I think part of it is also just really easy to build around Jayson to him. And he probably should get credit for that. But
why you keep sharing this one? I mean, I don't understand what's the difference if the series changes. I don't know. I don't know how y'all want me to position myself with this.
You're meant to say Clippers and Sticks, even though it's mathematically impossible at this point.
Oh, I got you.
You gotta stand on what you said.
Guys sent through a super chat and said it's sad after Hallie single-handedly sent the game to OT, then ran down the Bucks in OT. All anyone wants to talk about is his dad. Or if Giannis is done with the Bucks. Basketball discourse is cooked.
No,
damn, y'all.
We spoke about Hallie.
Yeah,
he's not overrated.
Yes, we talked about Hallie.
Jamal sent through another super chat. Jamal said, there's been a player who puts up 36, 9, and 4. 37, 14, and 3, 35, 8, and 10 in 3 straight games with 68 true shooting percentage against elite defense, but not a word from the national media because he's got no aura.
No, it's because Derek White is all NBA caliber, so
they're playing versus the Magic. None of those series are getting any love on national television. They talked about the Knicks on Get Up 4 times today. They talked about the Lakers 3 times today. First Take talked about the Knicks 3 times, and they talked about the Lakers 3 times. The Clippers Nuggets series didn't get no mention. Boston Magic, none of those series. They're not going to get talked about. It's that simple. Mars super chat.
Hunter with a super chat said, "I know a certain center that will be getting cooked for letting a player drive by them at will and get the game and series winner hit over them, but since it's 34, nothing but crickets."
I agree.
I think it's crazy. Mars never backs me up, and even he was speaking truth yesterday. I mean, when Mars isn't trolling, you know how big of it's. You know how big the issue has to be. Mars would troll in an alien invasion. Like, I don't think people realize the strength that Mars.
Mars, you fight that, Mars? Mars, do you fight that?
No, I love trolling. I mean, it's
okay,
hard
I just want to make sure.
It's hard. We're up here 15 hours a week. I'm not about to be serious for 15 hours. I'm sorry, I'm not. Like, if people can't decipher the seriousness versus trolling, that's on them.
But you're so convincing, Mars. That's the problem.
I mean, I think I'm good. I'm good at what I do. Yeah, I'm really good.
I see through him.
So you just assume anytime I say anything that might be anti-Jokic.
No, Mars, you're not doing this. You're doing it now.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not. I'm good, Mars. In one ear, out there. That's why when you were setting them up earlier, I was trying to help them to Euro you because you were getting lost on these titty bits.
All of a sudden, I'm
just doing it right now.
You're doing it right now. Sometimes what I say is still valid, but yeah, I'm not about to be serious all the time. I think people should be able to tell by now. But if they can't, then
I still have a difficult time with it. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
Maybe one day.
Mo sent through a members chat and said, "Harden's still my GOAT and Pistons in 7."
James Harden stinks, but
he doesn't. Mars.
Pistons in 7.
Mars.
Of all the 3-1 series, the Pistons have the best chance of winning it. I'll say.
No, the Clippers do. I still think
they're not 3-1. I'm talking about the 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. Mars, 3-1. Can we just say this? So the Nuggets are playing spectacular defense. I feel like we can give them credit. And now that you can do this for me when I'm not here tomorrow. Yeah, shouts.
David Mujinaya sent through a super chat and said, "What do y'all think about what happened with Giannis and Hallie's dad?"
Yeah,
real quick. That's the super chat that you just had up there. People didn't notice that that Giannis,
his mom,
because she thought Giannis was about to whoop her husband ass. That's why. That's exactly why. When he got in his face, she thought he was going to whoop his ass.
Yo, did you see the way he was staring at him for like a good 15 seconds before he decided to address him? He's contemplating.
He started tearing up. Because he was ready. He for real was ready to go over there and put hands on him.
Should I slap the taste out of this man's mouth on this court?
I got Hallie's dad winning. I don't know what you guys are going on. I got Hallie's dad winning.
This is before he grabbed Benny by the back of the dome.
He just had to have a man-to-man conversation with Tyree's dad. He really was about to beat Matt. Like he wanted that.
I got Hallie's dad winning, but you
know. This is like when we was in San Francisco and Ron was out and about acting up, and so me and Chill had to grab Ron by the back of the scruff.
I already
tell him bring him in the house.
Damn, Ron.
Bring him in the house.
Oh, don't worry.
In case you don't know, it's two dudes up here with the same complexion. They both got red on their heads, and all they do is troll all show. All show. That's all they do.
Same complexion.
Well,
me and Chill the same color. I don't know what to tell you.
You are a little darker than Swiper.
No, we are not.
Swiper like bright skin. Swiper got the
we've already
filter
had
on right
this
now.
conversation.
Hey, if you guys ain't seen Swiper in person, he really likes Zach LaVine's color for real. Like Klay Thompson.
Yes, he's the epitome of a light skinned dude. That's who he is.
Okay.
He's a
shout out to that
dude.
filter you got on though.
Right. Hey, y'all guessed. Tell me if I'm lying. Same color.
It's not. That is not the same color.
You and Chill kind of close. Like.
I told you, Chill.
No, we not. It's the lights. Look.
You and Chill kind of close.
I got lights on too.
Let him know, Chill. You really black.
No.
Black.
Sorry.
All right, so I got a super chat from Mike. Mike said, "Remember when Mr. Reactionary Swiper said the Nuggets players were unplayable because they had one bad game? I need you guys to cook this fraud."
And in game 3, Aaron Gordon was missing layups because he was hurting. Like the team was hurt. Michael Porter Jr. just had sprained his AC joint. I mean, it's really not that difficult to comprehend. I understand this. There's this thing that y'all like, trying to do this, whatever. But they might get out the series, and then now it's up. It's the whole thing's different. So I'll tell you.
You gonna pick him against OKC?
We'll see. You know how I feel about OKC Denver. But to be fair, Mars, I did tell you months ago about that series. I would feel better versus them than versus the Wolves. I said that.
All right, 10K Prime sent through a super chat and said Jayson Tatum probably just needs to be a slight more disrespectful, man. Man, I see we praise Anthony Edwards and Luka more than Jayson Tatum, which is crazy to me. Does JT need to be more
since Jayson Tatum is better than both of them.
You get mean and disrespectful when you got to carry the load. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Well, to be fair, Anthony Edwards, relative to the rest of the league, has one of the best squads in the league. They have 8 starters on that team. So, how many people can you say that about? They have 8 starters on the roster. Naj Reid, Dante, and Nikhil are starters.
Old ass Mike.
Mike Conley's been good this series.
Oh, but old ass Al Horford valid. Okay.
All right, we got another super chat.
I didn't even glaze nobody today. That's crazy. Now, maybe you're right. I grazed Haliburton today. You're right. That's true. That's true.
Got another super chat from JT. JT said, "Chill. Can you explain why Donovan Mitchell is better than Hadley?"
Latest White.
Bye, y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Better scorer, better defender, better pull-up shooter.
Better everything but passing.
He's just better.
All right,
sounds
like
like Magic Johnson versus Donovan Mitchell to me.
Magic Johnson just Ben Simmons for confidence. Let's keep going.
Sounds the exact same argument. I know Donovan Mitchell a better pull-up shooter, better scorer, better defender than Magic Johnson.
I'm just playing, Ron. I'm just playing. I look like that, Ron. I'm just playing, Ron.
It's the same thing.
Are we having a Haliburton Magic Johnson comparison?
It's the same thing. It's the same categories.
No, it's not. It is not.
So who's the better pull-up shooter, Donovan Mitchell or Magic Johnson?
Yo, Mars, we got super chats.
Yeah, no,
Timothy Johnson said,
I'm wrong.
Keep going, Brett. Keep going, Brett.
Right, Timothy said Pacers ran sets that pulled Giannis away from the basket, and Doc was too dumb to make a change. Giannis shouldn't be guarding Hadley with offensive load he was carrying.
Stop putting this kind of stuff on coaches. Hey, Mars, we're not switching. I'm chasing. I know that they're going to Hallie and Cape and Hallie is my matchup. When the screen comes, which is going to be a weak screen, by the way. When the screen comes, I'm not switching. Stay with your guy. I'm not switching. That's nothing to do with coaching. That's my guy. I'm dealing with Haliburton. Period.
And he need to look you dead in your eyes and say, "You're not dealing with Haliburton tonight. I need you to score 40. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy on Haliburton.
We're not switching.
You gonna roam.
We're not switching. I'll deal with him. We're not switching.
So we can't put our DPOY on someone and expect
that was 5 years ago, Mars.
He got DPOY votes this year.
He got 1.
Okay, so we can't put our DPOY vote receiving.
So we're gonna do that with Sabonis too. That's what we're gonna do. So we're putting Sabonis. We're gonna put Sabonis on their best. Bro,
Giannis gonna get many all defensive votes. Many. I can't expect him to get 1 stop with his life on the line, his series on the line.
Yes, we could expect him to get 1 stop. Yes.
Yeah. Send him left next time, Giannis.
Well,
Prophet Lewis said, "Are y'all gonna say Paul George transcended the game when the new generation come in?"
His impact on the younger generation will definitely be
pretty heavy,
major, and it should be acknowledged as such. Absolutely.
In fact,
whether or not you think he's that good of a player or not is not relevant to the fact that he's had a major impact on the younger generation. Same thing with Kevin Durant, Tracy McGrady, Kyrie.
Yep.
Nah, PG definitely got impact. So.
Jacob's Tree said Nigerian haters were showing out yesterday on platforms with Arsenal and a lot of Bucks and the Bucks lost. But things come full circle though. Caps off to Haliburton.
Yo, can we get Ron some glasses, please, yo? Can we do that?
No, we like watching Ron struggle.
Can we get Ron some glasses, yo?
And the way you read that just gave me a stroke.
Hey, chill out, bro.
Glasses, man. Hey, I got my glasses right here. Look, Ron. You can come on. It's cool.
Slack sent through a super chat and said, I think it's different because Magic was the engine in the Lakers offense and Tatum is just a cog in the machine.
No, he isn't. No, he is not.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. Because you know what that sounds like? You know what that's not a bar, Los. You know why that's not a bar? Because it sounds like you could just take Jayson Tatum out and just put anybody else in and it'll be rolling just fine.
They'll still make the playoffs. You take Jayson Tatum out.
How about winning the NBA championship though? You think they're still doing that?
Tatum is the engine to that.
100% he is. Come on, man.
Sure. Not the same as like Magic Johnson, but he is their engine.
No, I'm not gonna say to that level, but yes, 100% he's still an engine.
Yeah, but Tatum contributes way more in defense than Magic Johnson ever did.
It's one of them dual motors. They got 2 engines in them.
What are you saying,
wonder what
Mars?
Kareem was then. Okay.
So what are you saying, Mars? Is Tatum better than Magic Johnson, Mars? Is that what you're trying to
Better pull-up shooter, better
Here we go.
defender,
Here we
better
go.
scorer.
Here we
It's
go.
the same argument.
Ron, you don't stop, Ron.
So I'm wrong. So the same argument for Mitchell over Halley isn't the same for Jason Tatum over Magic Johnson? It's not the exact same.
Hey,
because
Mars,
I wouldn't make that argument, Mars. I wouldn't make
been
that
saying,
argument for him. No, I wouldn't.
Magic Johnson, just Ben Simmons with some confidence. That's all that is.
You got to.
He wish he was as good as Ben Simmons.
Take away the nuance, and we just go straight to the.
No, if you're gonna go down the categories, Jason Tatum would beat Magic Johnson. That's what I'm saying. The same categories.
I would make a different. I would make a different argument.
Does
I would
the
make a
era
different
and like the
argument,
game and all that matter, or like we just saying like he's better at this?
No, I just think the criteria has to be the same for each.
Ron, I gotta bounce. Later,
right,
fellas.
All right, man.
Chop De Niro said Giannis is so overrated. If he didn't hurt Kyrie in 21, he might have never even made it past the second round in his career. But somehow he top 3 right now.
They were in the conference finals in 2019. So he made it past the second round in 2019. So that was cap. But he is overrated. I agree with that. But the past the second round part, that's just cap.
Overrated in what sense?
People really think he invests in the Wild Talks. That's funny to me. But he good. Just he not.
I don't think he's best in the world, but he top 5.
Yeah, he top 5 for sure.
Top 2.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know where you're like.
He top 2.
I mean, Ray Allen's the top 2 shooter of all time for a lot of people. But if someone says he's the best, they're overrating. You can be top 5 and be overrated. Just depends on what people are.
I hear what you're saying. I just had to see what you're
talking. Yeah, Giannis underrated.
He not the best player in the world. He not in those talks.
Yeah, be that as it may, Giannis underrated. Y'all don't appreciate or respect Giannis for what he does.
No, I respect Giannis. I respect Giannis. It's like the 4th best player in the world.
He just got a lot of flaws.
Well, I was about to say, at what point do we start judging Giannis for not improving certain aspects of his game?
Giannis has got better and better every single season.
So why is it?
But that like
every season he's got better.
So Giannis now is better than he was in 2022. Better than he was in 2021.
Yeah.
So why is his defense falling?
He don't got no legitimate post move still. He still got a mediocre midi, like no 3-ball. The handle hasn't really gotten that significantly better. I don't know. I love Giannis. I think he's top 5 for sure in the league right now. I just don't
for sure top 5.
I just don't see how he like where the improvements been.
His game just has too many flaws for me.
That's fair.
All right, y'all. Teddy Hart said DeMar is a facsimile. DeMar is a facsimile of Kobe's offensive game as well. Not as good though, obviously.
Hell nah. They're just talking about strictly off the mid-range jumper. No, Kobe's game is significantly different, bro.
I think he's saying he's just like I think that was to the point where we was talking about Hakeem versus Kobe, and then he was saying like people copy or people can.
Well, then Jahlil Okafor is a facsimile of Hakeem.
He's saying like people play like Kobe.
Medved sent through a super chat and said 70% of the Bucks cap space is Giannis plus Dame. Gary Trent Jr. wants to get paid. It's over. They will pull the plug and move Giannis to get back draft picks and reset.
Unless they get
Gary Trent Jr. ain't getting shit after dropping that ball out of bounds.
Gary was the only reason they was in that game, boy.
I know, but I'm saying, hey,
he cooked the game before that too.
Yeah, he can't. OT he hit 4 threes.
2 games before that.
I don't know how you can single-handedly save the team and make them lose.
And make them lose.
No, I'm just messing with you. Gary Trent Jr. definitely deserved to get some paper. He definitely deserved to get some paper. But I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I said, I think Ox said it too. Got to trade Giannis. Got to recoup some assets.
Nah. Worldwide Mace TV said, Ron, how can I become a Hall of Fame member? I need to come and cook a Tatum hater on Friday, bro. Well, first and foremost, it's a join button that's right next to, if you see the player's choice name right there. It's right there. Above it's the like button, so you should hit that as well. But click that join button, and then it's going to give you the tiers that you can join. Click the Hall of Fame tier, and after you do that, hit me up, and I'll make sure that the Tatum haters are up here. Los, I might need you up here. And then we'll set that up.
About to say, you can go ahead, Stoner Sports Network on Instagram. You can hit the DMs, big dog. I'll reply.
Now you gonna get cooked in the DMs? That's tough.
Switchblade 98 said, did the Rockets make a blunder in 2024 draft by selecting Reed Shepherd over the guy that was selected after him in Stephon Castle? Just wondering.
Reed's gonna be better than Stephon Castle.
Think so?
I think the Rockets just have way too many.
I don't even think it's gonna be close either. Reed is gonna be way better than stuff.
Reed is nice. He just hasn't gotten an opportunity yet. But
Yeah,
I don't know if he's gonna be better than Castle. They both nice, but I don't think they made a mistake. No,
Neither do I.
especially because if you look at the Rockets roster, they don't have like a young point guard. So like Van Fleet is getting older. At some point, they're gonna have to move on. And I think Reed Shepard can step in.
paid that man. No, they paid man.
But could y'all imagine?
Yeah, but like a few years down the road, Reed Shepard gonna be nice.
Could y'all imagine Stephon Castle on this squad right now?
Oh yeah, that's what they need. Less
Crazy.
shooting. Yeah.
Would he play? Would they
Okay, they got shooting and Reed, and he doesn't play. So that doesn't. That's
Okay.
neither here
Yeah,
nor there.
why would they play Stephon Castle?
I'm saying
Stephon-
I don't know
another
if Castle
dog that's playing with these other dogs.
He wouldn't play.
I don't.
To be fair,
Stephon Castle.
I'm very high.
Reed today is better than Stephon Castle. He just doesn't play.
That's tough. But I like Cam Whitmore. He don't get no PT on their team either.
Yeah, that's true.
Put Reed on the Spurs. He's playing 28 minutes a game. He's probably the rookie of the year. Like he doesn't play. Like it's easy to say one player is better when you see one with opportunity and the other one doesn't have opportunity.
And you're right.
No rookie this year
I agree.
would be playing for the Rockets. No rookie this year would be playing for the Rockets.
And it's
like
tough
that's just how the Rockets are. Like
Especially with
Reed's not
Udoka
worth
too.
not
He
getting
not.
opportunity.
they're good at different things though. Like
For sure.
Castle's
Stephon Castle way better defensively, better getting to the rim, more physical, all of those things.
He's a more versatile player. They different. They have different ceilings. But Reed is gonna be a dog too. I agree with that.
Reed's gonna be great. Reed's gonna play next year. He's gonna be 22, 23 minutes a game.
For the Rockets,
Yeah. Unless they trade him for KD, which is very possible. But he gonna wherever he is next year, he gonna play.
All right, we got a few more super chats, y'all. DSG Piccolo said, "Sounds like the Bucks could have used Ryan Dunn, guarded Hallie there, but hey, draft a guy we won't use. Also, Tumani would have stopped that. All defense, second team on the way."
They would have, man. Ryan Dunn and Tumani would have got stopped right now.
Hallie last night.
I mean, yeah, that's Hallie down the stretch of the game in the fourth quarter and overtime. He was amazing. I don't know if you could just say that those dudes would have stopped him, but
They would have just sent him left. That's what
The
they
Haliburton.
what the
It's not that hard to just send someone left, but you know, Giannis couldn't do it.
He said it's not that hard.
It's not.
I guess.
Just send him left. You gonna watch the Cavs do it next round, watch.
Teddy Hart said, "I think the Spurs would be the most viable to trade for Giannis and pair with Wemby, especially if they don't win the KD sweepstakes."
I would try. Stephon Castle, Vassell,
Yeah, it's a few
Jeremy
teams
Sohan.
put together packages for Giannis, but that's a good spot.
That's a KD.
Mark Ken said, "Mars, quick question, and you can answer after in the comments. Who's been the top 7 defenders in the playoffs so far based on performance in order?"
Not Giannis. I know that.
That's a real specific task to give somebody.
I can't even
in order.
I can't even assure you I'm gonna do that. I can't assure you I'm gonna do that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But not Giannis, I can assure you of that.
Shout out to Mark Ken. And shout out to AKA Leroy, because Leroy said, "Why didn't AJ Green hold it to get fouled? Isn't he a good free throw shooter?"
Because he missed one before.
Just had missed a free throw.
Yeah, so he was ducking the fade. Giannis was obviously ducking the fade. Everyone was terrified.
Can't just give it to Giannis is the worst part.
Dame on a torn Achilles would have knocked them free throws down there.
100%.
Yeah, would have subbed him in.
He said, "What a subbed him in."
Lil Bill became a YouTube member. Slap became a YouTube member, and Dominique Harris also became a YouTube member.
That
Shout out
picture
to
is
those
crazy,
three.
Dominique Harris. That picture is crazy, bro.
And shout out to Zenon Foz. Sent through a members chat and said, "Who's the best point guard in the East?" Who y'all got?
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson.
Darius Garland. No, I'm saying Jalen.
All right, everybody. I'm about to...
Trae Young.
I respect that too.
I'm not mad at Trae Young.
I'm very mad, but it's cool. We can move on.
I like Trae.
Brunson.
Void Century said, "My 2 favorite panelists, both rocking black and orange today. Did you guys color coordinate this morning or some shit?"
I think that's red and blue.
Who was wearing black and orange? Oxen True?
Yeah, who was wearing black and orange?
I don't even know.
I think it's red. I think he's talking about y'all. It's red and blue.
Oh. No.
You and Ron. You a swiper hat on the red and blue.
We good. Nah.
Q sent through a super chat and he said, "Can we get a top 10 players right now? Do you guys have top 10 players off the top of your head? If not, next time you guys come on, we can get that from you."
I got you next time. I needed a little second to go through it.
To give a great answer.
For the first few, is you really got to think about it. You got a top 10?
Not really. You just say Jokic, you say Shea, you say Tatum, you say Giannis.
I'm assuming they want it in order though.
Yeah, Jokic, Shea, Tatum, Giannis, Steph, Anthony Edwards.
We're gonna say Luka.
I probably got Anthony a little higher.
Anthony Edwards.
Luka got to be in there.
Yeah, Luka will be in there. So that'll be what, 7.
And then maybe.
So we just talking about in the playoffs or just top 10 players in the league in general?
I think they're talking about in the league in general.
So then you get KD in there. KD. So you'll get KD in there like 8. Braun can be like 9. And then 10, you just throw Wemby in there. There you go.
I don't know if Wemby top 10 yet, but I hear you.
Nah, Wemby top 10.
I don't think Braun top 10 no more either, but that's cool.
Take Braun out. Take Braun out.
I would go Brunson over Braun.
Oh hell no, we good on that. Yeah, I don't know. I tried.
Yeah, it gets tough.
Yeah. Oh, Anthony Davis, AD a good player. Yeah.
Got you next time, bro.
I did my best.
MP13 said,
"Thank you very much, man."
So we are all collectively praying Giannis doesn't go to OKC, right?
I want him to go to OKC.
Let me get the KD OKC reunion.
They don't need that.
Ooh, KD and OKC would be nice.
Nice.
For like Isaiah or something.
Maybe that'll atone. Like maybe people will like give him credit for his championships if he do that, and that'll atone for everything that everybody hate him for if he go back to OKC. Finish it where he started.
Just like LeBron did in Miami.
If he goes back to the best team in the league again.
Yeah.
It's right up his alley.
It'll hit different just because it's OKC and that's where he started. It won't be the same as the Warriors. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, who knows how this season goes, but hopefully for him, if he did that they don't win a championship this year. Because if they win a championship and then he did it, it would look insane.
I hope you guys know if KD goes to OKC, he'd win Finals MVP. I just hope you guys are aware of that.
I don't think so.
I just hope you guys are.
He might.
I hope you guys just know
what to call it.
I mean, that's not a crazy statement because his job would be so much easier. We've seen KD when like there's nobody, like there's no help on the court, and you got to just play him one-on-one. We see what he does. So like, it's not far-fetched.
He'll win Finals.
I would love to see Tatum do that.
It's gonna be an interesting offseason. I can't wait. All right, y'all. We got a couple more super chats. One from Jamal Squared. Jamal said, "Imagine being the best scorer, playmaker, versatile defender, and rebounder for the defending champions, but he getting carried by a super team." I guess
that is funny. Like,
hey, it's crazy.
Other than maybe Giannis, Jayson Tatum is the best on his team at more categories than anyone else in the NBA. Like Jokic isn't the Nuggets' best defender, but
again,
he's the best scorer.
He would still be the best player. Categories, though.
No, I'm not saying he's the best player. I'm saying Jayson Tatum is the Celtics' best everything, besides like perimeter defender. He's their best everything.
He might not. Well, are you including shooting in that too? He's not their best shooter, but yeah, I don't know if that.
If you want to go to the smaller scale, yeah, but then that gets even more tricky for guys.
Scoring,
like
defense, playmaking, yeah,
like Giannis isn't their best shooter, so like he would fall down. Jokic isn't the Nuggets' best shooter. That's Jamal Murray or MPJ.
Sometimes Jokic is shit.
Okay,
if you want to get lucky, yeah.
All right, y'all. The last super chat of the day is from Cujo. Cujo said, "At the end of the day, superstars shouldn't be shamed for GMs doing their job, constructing a great roster. SGA, Tatum, etc. They still got to perform."
I agree.
Got off with that one today. I pitched y'all off with that one today.
All right, fellas. Appreciate y'all for coming through. One more time, can you let the people know where they can find you at, when they can find you at, how they can find you, all that good stuff?
Go ahead, Jay.
All right, yes, sir. We are Stoner Sports Network. You can check us out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Just look up Stoner Sports Network. You type it in Google, it's gonna pop up. Check out our website. We got some merch for y'all. We got everything going. YouTube. You can check out my Twitter as well. I'm very active on Twitter. If you ever want to talk basketball, whether it's women's basketball, college, youth basketball, AAU, whatever it is, JAY _ the number 3 and then Shifty SHIFTY with my boy Los. You can check us out. We're doing videos every day. We're dropping heat every single day on NBA football.
Really dropping heat for real, y'all.
Yeah. So
Hey, I don't watch too much content on social media, but I've been tapped in with these dudes for real.
Hey, respect.
And we try to keep it fun, lighthearted, and keep everybody engaged. Just give y'all sports all across the board, whether it's youth, whether it's AAU, pro, overseas, whatever it is. We're just trying to give y'all
WNBA.
Yep, WNBA, college basketball, everything.
All that. And we appreciate being on this platform too. These gentlemen here are amazing at what they do, and we just really blessed and thankful to be part of.
Man. It's always fun. It's always great basketball talk, man. I love being up here with y'all.
Yes, sir. Sure. Gonna get y'all back up here real soon, probably towards the end of the second round, so we could do the same thing again and recap what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully y'all squads is doing well. Somebody's squad's gonna be getting beat up. And
Cavs to the shit, baby.
You know
Cavs to baby. You already know what it is. Cavs in 5.
Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals. But
okay. All right, y'all. We up out of here. We'll catch you guys tomorrow at the same time.
Mars be pissing me off.
The Celtics, you crazy hell, boy. Look it out of here.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate y'all.